You need to be level 550 just to survive the Red Ocean dungeon vibe. Deep down, it sounded like a chaotic brawl, with the clashing of steel and cave walls crumbling like dry cookies. The enemy was a skinless nightmare that'd spook anyone solid. A level 5, the beast swung a paw huge enough to turn giant boulders into straight-up confetti. It crept toward the solo hunter, ready to delete him. Ted gripped his weapon, backed up, and read the room. Our guy quickly noted that this thing was ugly as sin and super lethal. Being level 559, he knew this was no joke. The monster took a hard hit to its scaly chest from the hero. The hurt beast let out a wild scream, dark blood spewing from its jaw like a broken tap. Typical sea dragon. 3 giant heads, sharp teeth. He knew chopping one head just makes it rage harder. Ted knew a fair fight was risky, so he started brainstorming a cheesier way to beat this beast. Suddenly, he spotted something weird about the enemy's moves. 3 had started bending the water currents, charging up a magic attack. The dragon sent a tsunami to flush the hero off the ledge. The water hit Ted like a truck, knocking him flat and wrecking his balance. The demon laughed, enjoying the guy's struggle to stand. The blast dug a deep trench right into the floor. Out of nowhere, the monster heard a giggle and looked around, totally spooked. He tried to find where that mocking laugh was coming from. Spinning around, the dragon was shook to find the guy surfing on its back. Ted was just stalling to chop all the heads in one go. Swinging his blade, he said, "See ya," before the big finish. With one epic swing, the hero sliced all 3 necks, taking the win. A pop-up called him the world's first to beat a level 550-plus boss. Ted's level zoomed straight to 601. Patience pays off. Big time. But that win cost a ton of prep and cash. He even set a high-tier trap just for this dragon date. Ted designed this boss gimmick to make fights way less of a headache. That poison is rare, totally unbuyable in shops. Math time. He blew $2 million in a week. Wallet pain. Flog the loot, cover costs, and bank a fat profit. Easy money. But the real prize was the Sea Dragon Essence That ultra-rare blue crystal drop. Ted knew the drop rate sucked, so snagging it first try. Pure hype. But yeah, low-key panic was creeping in. When did the game gods ever bless him like this? Fate Chronicles ZWR RPG that broke the internet and still rules. He leveled fast thanks to his weirdo playstyle and total mastery of the mechanics. In 3 years, Ted cracked Japan's top 100 list. But dude was cursed with trash luck. Random quakes kept wiping his hard-earned bases. His squad got wiped pre-siege, leaving him sick of taking LS. He quit parties to grind solo. Ted figured today ends the losing streak. The intel he scored was straight fire. Hell Tribe Dungeon needed level 600 just to survive. Once a year, Inferno, Orochi. He knew he snagged the exact cheat codes needed to secure the dub. Time to crack that shell and smash the boss's weak spot. Climbing up, Ted sighed. Finally, tough hike, but he made it to this hellhole. He pulled the crystal. Perfect spot to deploy it. That essence was his only shot at winning today. Pop the cap. Time to dump that magic juice right onto the ground. Blue, glowing goo seeped down, lighting up the rocks. Drops rolled way down to the dungeon floor below. Slow and steady, the magic slime flowed down the cave floor, glowing bright, right where the boss was catching some boom right in the peepers. Ted drained every last drop. Empty. He chugged potions to buff up before the brawl. It worked fast. The beast woke up, totally triggered. Rocks went flying everywhere, with crazy force as the monster raged out of bed. Inferno, Orochi, level 6, horned hellsnake. Boss is loose. Ted grabbed his gear instantly. Ted started spamming shots at the ugly thing, tagging every weak spot. Because it was molting, he could actually deal damage. The boss glared, salty that a human attacked. Snake wasn't letting that slide, trying to delete him, lunging with that massive maw open. Ted barely yeeted himself sideways, dodging the angry chomp. Dude was shook. Even nerf-ed. This beast hit like a truck. And the speed, absolute hack-level insanity. Waking up from a nap didn't slow it down one bit. Big Snake inhaled deep and let out a speaker-busting scream. Ted clenched his jaw, knowing this boss fight was way more intense than the wiki said. The thing was dripping spicy magma, shooting hellfire everywhere. Seeing the spicy meatball, our guy quickly raised his gear, aiming to clap back with a critical hit. Split-second decision. He pulled the trigger to regain aggro. Boom. Massive, orange blast. Total screen blindness. Couldn't see squat. Legit magma. Flowed out, wrecking everything in its spicy path. Ted hit the dirt, twisting, in pain. Nearly lost an arm there. If the recoil hadn't pushed him back, he'd be extra crispy now. Dude realized that the level gap was insane. Even with the boss deep, Ted knew he couldn't tank a direct shot from this beast. One slip-up equals game over. No extra lives here. With that massive level gap, the win rate was looking basically zero. With just 30% odds, He shouted at the snake to bring it. Ted blasted a shot, so hot the air literally rippled. Dude was gasping, steam huffing out his lips. Such a brutal grind. Floored Ted figured this was the wipe. Avatar totally out of stamina to keep fighting. Head turned, thinking of the 2-day no-sleep grind fest. But he'd actually soloed this beast. Server first. Nobody else had pulled this off. Fight over. He woke up in his gaming pod, totally wrecked. Realized he'd been plugged into VR for 2 days straight. Loot's on the market, so he can finally crash. Wait, he totally forgot one crucial thing before logging. Hopped on his PC to check the view count on his upload. He figured he'd see garbage numbers, but hey, memories for later. Right? Walking out? Just hoped subs liked the content. Kyo. Nobody could have predicted the craziness about to drop. No clue. That clip he uploaded to YouTube would blow up. Ted was clueless on what kind of chaos was coming his way after this. Suddenly, everyone was buzzing about this viral clip online. Watching a 29-year-old solo a giant snake boss. Everyone was straight up shook at first. Like, no way that gameplay was real life. Chat had one question. Is this legit or fake? The boys debated if it was skill or insane. They scoped the name Ted. Total rondo to them. Destiny Chronicles bans Smurfs. So, this footage is 100% authentic. Ted went live, shouted out the fanbase, and said today's stream is monster hunting. Our main guy planned to teach us how to wreck orc kings and their goons. Usually, these ugly mugs ride solo, but sometimes they squat up like a mosh pit. Plus, boss orcs love bringing friends, making a whole mob scene, wiping them all, total nightmare for new. So Ted had to cheese at least one before raging. He decided to show chat, to pull a cracked play with a high criddle, to nuke M and dodge while uncooled. Here is the big brain play he laid out. You gotta kite the trash mobs, with a grin, cause this trick always works. Ted said he usually just picks off kings one by one, super chill style. But when they group up like a horde, it is actually easy claps for a pro gamer. Step 1. Sneak up on a king without aggroing the rest. Then, while juking hits, bait him into hitting his buddy. He showed chat exactly how to execute, landing a 6 knife. The key detail. Stun the first king when he rages at you. If you position just right so he smacks his bro. The whole point of this cheese is making the orc friendly fire his pal. Orcs ain't loyal. They will instantly throw hands at anyone who hurts. And while they beef, clear the ads. Only one king left. And that wraps up the guide on farming these toxic mobs. Chat went wild with messages immediately. Some were salty, others hyped the struck. So, Ms. Rudisa glued to the stream, asked her minion if he'd booked this cracked gamer for their hit show yet. Blondie was like, nah, Ted has zero riz. Put him on live TV. Total cringe fest for the viewers. Rudisa admitted his comms were basic. Screaming total noob at public speaking. But the dude's gameplay is fire and his vibes are immaculate. Who cares if he talks trash? So she's dead set on signing him. Post-stream, Ted was like, who knew? I'd blow up and go pro. This is wild. Seeing millions of views pop off instantly. Bro nearly lost his marbles. Plus, Seb's jumped 300 times in a day. That's actually illegal logic. Since his loser era is done, he's gonna be a top-tier legend. Easy life incoming. Then, bam, he saw an incoming call. Was it that manager lurking again about the show? Ted remembered. He straight up rejected the offer before, telling him he wasn't about that TV life. Guy picked up. Yep. Then was Lyhudis, and what do you want? They said CGTV saw his viral hunt and wants to collab ASAP cause he's cracked the suit, hyped his solo kill, and promised a squad to pick him up. Ted was like, no, don't rush. He said, hit him up later, and hung up fast. But CGTV, they're the richest OP guild in the game. They seriously want to hire him. Sus? He got mad. The whole thing felt like a prank or a glitch. Only 7 guilds. Are legit admins allowed to do business in Destiny Chronicles? All these squads are loaded, especially CGTV and Alibabachina's boss guild. Dude thought, no shot. These elitists would recruit a rondo like me. At the market, Ted paid a wizard to scrap 2 boss cores for loot. The dude warned, if I scrap them, they're gone forever. Ted was like, I know. Chill. He told him to speedrun it, since he had stuff to do, and as he started the job, Ted felt bad wasting 1 million worth of cores. But weird how that guild found him so fast. Since they name-dropped Orochi in the chat, it meant bad news for him. Horrified, he realized. Did those guilds plant the bosses? No way. Technically, the game rules say it's totally legit. He didn't know how, but they definitely glitched the boss spawn. He just fragged him, clipped it, and posted it online for clout. Ted freaked out. Talk about a cursed existence. Turns out, those bosses he barely scraped by belonged to some McGee. Was the universe trolling him again with this relentless bad luck streak? Shouldn't his epic fail compilation have ended ages ago? Give the guy a break. This was bad. Like big guild whales hunting him. IRL bad. Brain in panic mode. He scrambled for a plan. Options were slim, like 0 to none. Ted smashed his keyboard, replying to a DM about his viral clips. He was messaging that TV channel, specifically Rudisa, the girl desperate to feature him on her show. Just as he hit send, creepers popped up behind him. Then, whoosha heist zoomed right at his face from the ambush point. Spidey senses tingling. He spun around just in time, totally shook. The shot nailed his nose. He stumbled back, dazed. The lurkers stepped out, laughing. Nice reflexes. Kid, too bad you touched our loot. They boxed him in. No exy. He was toast. Ted panicked. They found me already. Way too fast. And check out that OP gear. They were geared up for a massacre. Totally terrifying for a noob like him. They grilled him. You knew what you were doing. Cost us big time. He was salty. You think I trolled you on purpose? Next time, put up a reserve sign for the rest of us. Suddenly, they cast Helguland on him. Gory monsters spawned and locked down his limbs. He was face planted into the dirt, totally immobilized. They told him cold. You don't get it, do you? We aren't negotiating. The guy snapped. This is how it is. If he was still clueless about the danger, Ted realized with Horvat was Manhwa, top-tier Dawn Mage from the Alibaba Guild. Manhwa sneered, accident or not, you're done for. Ted shot back. You said it yourself. My skills are legit. You saw my reflexes. Also, I'm tight with Rudiza's TV channel. That's the #1 server in the world. Bro, he grinned, imagining the drama if he leaked their shady hacks online. Ted warned him. Lay a finger on me, and the mods get the receipts. Instant ban hammer. Later, he went live. Sup chat, it's ya boy. Back again. Ted sighed. Real talk guys, bad news today. I'm pulling the plug. Last stream ever due to IRL stuff. He recapped the beatdown from that Chinese guild whale, who totally griefed him with a permadeath. Hex. Hit him with Hell's Gaze and total wipeout. Ted looked like a cursed sticker album. Seals everywhere. The griefer gave an ultimatum. 1 week to delete his tune, or else. Ted clapped back instantly, asking if the guy thought he'd just roll over like a total noob and ignore the cheating he saw. The reply, leak it. People forget, but I'll spawn camp you forever. Toxic Warlock said he hoped to never see Ted's face again. Ted wasn't ready to rage quit just yet. He'd tried every cleanse spell on the wiki to fix it. Even suicided for a stat reset. But those debuffs stuck like glue. Glitched maybe. He'd been grinding Fate Chronicles for 10 years with his You don't just trash a legacy character. He min-maxed this build perfectly for ages. But hey, rules exist. If he plays nice, his family stays safe. Just gotta scrub the forum post. Or, he could re-roll a new tune on a burner account. He's a pro. Speedrunning back to max level. Easy. He'd be OP again in no time. But ditching 10 years of epic loot? That hurts my soul. Why is his RNG so bad? His musket is one. Only 1,000 exist on the entire server. Took him 3 years to farm that boss drop. A total nightmare grind. Buy-in, used, gross. Plus, auction prices are insane. Can't delete the char while holding this beauty. Gotta go out with a bang? One last PvP. Time for the grand finale. Ted style. He prepped the goodbye event for the stream. Watch this. Chat. Legendary Soul, Seal Time. Boosts stats by 20%. God tier buff. Success rate, a measly 10%. Fail. And the item goes, poof, dust. YOLO roll after all this time. Why not? It's the ultimate crafted weapon. Baby. The lore claimed this was weapon number 9. Forged by a pro in the sacred fires of heaven's hell. But honestly, winning here meant zip, zero, nada to him, right now. Total crisis mode. He's nuking the character anyway, just trying to wreck the gear, so quitting hurts less. Ted told the stream, since I've been a total flop for you guys, here's one final lesson on failure. Dude was ready to kiss 10 years of XP and trophies goodbye, but the blacksmith looked totally confused by what was going down. The wizard beamed, reporting that magic stuck. He hyped up the lucky traveler on the win. Ted gaped. Wait, it actually worked. Is this a glitch, or what? Chav went feral, spamming hacks to explain the win, but our guy marched back. Hit it again, same weapon. Deep down, he was begging for it to snap so he could rage quit in peace. Ted peeked and heard the NPC cheering again. Success! You are on fire today, son. Dude was baffled. Where does bad luck go? He yelled. Again. Boom. Another success. Are you kidding? No way. This is impossible. He shrieked. Brain not computing. The smith was like, wow, never seen a customer this lucky. Is luck even real? Okay. Surely, that's enough for one day. He just wanted to vanish. Crying literal tears of rage. He sobbed. Fine, one more try. Weeping, He begged the smith to fry his gear with that cursed spell. What's the point of this epic loot if he's gotta delete his character permanently? The master admitted he'd never seen such a lucky streak in his whole life. Smith thanked Ted for showing him such miracles today. Ted gripped the rifle. A one-of-a-kind, god-tier item. 7 upgrades. Stats boosted 30.5 times. Insane. He knew those 2 megajilds would hunt him to the ends of the earth now. But making a weapon with 7 successes doesn't fix his actual problem. Sure, it's worth a fortune in gold. But who needs pixel cash when you're quitting? 10 years gone. Just ... wasted. Grinded from his 20s to 30s. Can't believe it. All cause of some jerk mage. He's back to level 0 in rags. That hollow feeling? No amount of virtual coin fixes that broken heart. Dude wondered if a cracked enchant could flip the script. So he killed the stream instantly. Failing was whatever, but nobody could see him winning. Ted told the smith to run it back, and the whole shop lit up like a supernova. He gripped the glowing gear, shook. 9 wins straight. No way this was real. How could a glitch like this happen with such rigged RNG? Soulbound meant this loot was his forever. Huge guilds would kill to grab it first. Only 8 + 9 items exist, worth billions. A Pleasden item literally doesn't exist in the game files. He was stressing so hard. His pulse at 200, the system said, chill out. At 250, the game kicks him to save his life. Ted knew he needed just the perfect stats to wreck guilds. Each upgrade doubled damage. Normal buffs were weak. He needed 32 times the power. Knowing his avatar worth more than cash, he went all in and chugged a berserk potion. For 10 minutes, his reflexes would spike 30%. Control dropped 80%. Brain had one goal. He was gonna crush this, no doubt. Totally amped, he demanded another upgrade. Cost be damned. Ted told the smith to zip it and just do the job. The dude was losing his mind. Eyes glowing toxic yellow from the juice. Smith shrugged. Alright, bet, let's send it. The hammer dropped. The first +10 attempt ever began. 0 chance this actually works. It'd be the server's first maxed weapon. But somehow, pure, crazy success. 10 times straight. Weapon maxed out. Suddenly, some creep hugged him, saying, finally, Seeker found the prize. Prize found him. Ted realized the +10 didn't just buff gear. It made you a legend. But wait, there's more. A demon Brookshawn offered a once-in-a-lifetime blood pact. Ted slapped the demon's paw away instantly. Too busy crafting to deal with distractions. He yelled at the thing to quit touching him and get lost. The demon was totally triggered by this attitude, asking how some noob dared talk back. It leaned in, trying to explain the epic deal calmly. So, check this out. A demon Flaxin, level 700 strength showed up, promising insane gains. Ted, total savage. He didn't care at all that the Beast King himself was sliding into his DI mess for a contract. Even level 800 heavy hitters rolled through, but my guy was zoning out, leaving them all on read. He was obsessed, just wanted to keep enchanting past level 14. At the 15th upgrade, a massive World Tree Guardian popped up, offering ancient hacks. Dude wasn't even looking at the screen. His brain was glitching on just upgrading that weapon. Level 16, a warrior who solos emperors appeared. Silver Dragon at the 17th. But Ted just kept screaming upgrade. At the master, level 18 brought the Sea Lord, but this was the rifle's limit. Ted yelled at the smith. He needed another roll, begging him not to stall. The smith sighed, obeyed the crazy customer, but warned that this was the absolute final enchant attempt. Then crack. The weapon shattered under the hammer. Ted stared at the scrap, unable to believe his baby was gone. Only one thought in his head, I messed up, but he asked for it. What was he even thinking? He rushed the master, crying for his 18 lost levels, literally on his knees, begging to somehow get back the unique gear he wasted his life on. The smith grinned, saying he finally peaked as a creator. He added that it was all thanks to Ted. Luckiest player alive. Basically, Ted raged, yelling that the guy was talking pure trash and didn't even dare celebrate. Tears in his eyes, he realized his weapon was toast. What was left to do now? Rage quit. Suddenly, the smith god Brahman himself appeared. He explained he just unlocked a new cheat skill. One ability fixes wrecked gear. With bare hands and divine magic, even as a god, he can't spam it. Fixing destroyed stuff is illegal. It breaks the laws of nature and goes into territory only the big boss understands. He can only pull this miracle once or twice, ever. The 19th enchantment succeeded. Take it as a thanks for the XP, he said. Tad checked the stats, wondering if he was dreaming. No way these weapon stats are legit. How's he holding this beast? Insane. Damage buffed 30 times base stats. Hits 3 times harder than top missiles. Plus, 90% magic resist. Crying, happy tears. He knew his terrible RNG finally paid off. With this, he'd solo wipe the top 2 guilds. Easy. maybe even snag World Rank 1. Suddenly, the smith glowed yellow. Dude was totally clueless. Huge fire eye spawned overhead. It faced him and spoke up. I'm Shimshan, the Sun Legend. Said he needs a host to bond. Tad panicked. Whoa. Explain. What's this mean for me? Forcing his way in. He was lost. He begged the smith for help, but the guy just said, good luck. Tad raged. Useless NPC. Not what he signed up for. The eye sucked him in. No escape. Landed in a starry space zone. Ding. Quest. Trial of shit. Free the sun. Prove your worth. Tad read it. Could he win? Can I use the gear? He wondered. Free loot is always a trap. Also, no logout button here. Come this far. Gotta go all in. So he smashed that accept. On the insane boss quest. Spawned in a weird cloud map. Biggest map he'd ever seen. Then, he totally freaked. Not Cloud's monster corpses. Paradise Tomb. Where the loot was, he saw ... himself. Standing there. Is that me? Same skin, same gear. Clone spouted some cryptic junk. Tad was like, English. Please. Just gotta frag him. Sweet. Just then, things got totally weird. His clone whipped out a musket, aiming like a pro sniper. Dude was shook chill from this aggro mirror image. Those dead red eyes stared back, totally creeping him out. A worry popped into the guy's head. Could he actually survive a beatdown from himself? Could he defeat his own reflection to ace this crazy test? Tad recognized the Muthu's passive perk that boosted the reach of his opening strike. Great, the copy is his face and his overpowered skills. Total bummer. Since the enemy wouldn't just hand over the loot, he had to fight for it. The guy decided to spam 5-shot in Volcano, trap to win. He was dead set on snagging that epic heavenly gift. Tad vowing to show who was the cheap knockoff here. He aimed his weapon, but the clone was also charging up. Blazing beams shot from his hands, zooming at the target. When the attacks smashed together, a massive boom rocked the whole tomb. He hoped the blast fried the guy, thinking, die already. Butts teleported behind him using shadow trace. Sneaky move. Tad realized this was literally the ultimate shadowboxing. They were rocking the exact same overpowered loadout. Can't slack off now, especially against your own evil twin. Rule number 1. Keep attacking and never let up. The other him glowed with creepy red kill mode vibes. The clone stood. Ready? Trying to guess the original's next big play. Suddenly, the dupe spun around. Hearing a weird noise, Tad flanked fast, aiming to one-shot the copy with fire. After firing, he decided to ghost into the shadows so he wouldn't get counter-wrecked. The copy mocked him, calling that move totally basic and weak. The twin vowed to catch him and end him 100%, tricks or not. So the enemy fired a secret high-level magic cannon. The copy bragged that it knew Tad's power level inside out. It asked if Tad was sure he could even survive this Mortal Kombat deathmatch. Tad kept hitting, calling him lucky. The thing just raged back. So, he forced the issue, trying to end the fight with one decisive shot. Tad ignored the threats and spammed a massive combo of hits. Bam! A massive counter hit came flying his way. He barely ducked in time. Ted was totally lost on what was up. Something about this clone was acting super sus and scary. Clone Boy aimed the cannon right at his face. Looked like game over. But wait, the clone spotted some fire. Like magic, flames just popped up right in his grill. Fire didn't just flash him. It roasted his emo cloak too. Copycat wondered, is this a trap or what? Did he bait me here on purpose? The doppelganger figured the OG planned this to wreck his aim. Kappa knew it was a solid move, but not enough for the kid. Aiming, he teased. Where are you gonna hide if I nuke all the cover? Then he unleashed a total cannon barrage to seal the win for good. The clone mocked. Go ahead, bro. Run away, but you can't ghost my attacks. Copy swore, it was the end. No more falling for pranks. He got close to the original. Cannon ready for the kill shot, but whoops. Once again, he had zero clue what just happened. Was this another 4D chess move by the original? Ted stared at the fake, knowing he just needed one sec to win. Not a skill, just a feint he cooked up with pure reflex. He called it blind spot vision, hiding where eyes can't see. The copy grinned, finally getting the joke. The whole time, the OG was masking his real spawn point. Ted did it so the baddie would expose himself to a blindside shot. But then, something gnarly happened. Dude got hit, and a chunk of him just glitched out of existence. Copy smirked, perfect vessel for the Liberator's power. The clone announced he, the Sun Liberator, was making a deal. Our guy was absolutely shook. Ted woke up, and the smith asked, "You good?" He pouts, loot Sun Liberator contract, and a gun with 19 buffs. Crying like a baby, the dude realized something deep. Felt like he burned a whole life's worth of luck right there. The contract triggered a rebirth. Guy had no clue what that meant. Eyes popped out of his head. He panicked, thinking, no way this is real life. Ted was super salty about they never agreed to that. Snag is, all his skills and titles get wiped. All his hard grinding. 10 years of progress. Delete. He tried to quit, but the sun god ignored his whining. Hero tried to cancel the update, but the deity said, nope, he got the title. Lord of the Six-Pointed Star. System finally finished the factory reset. Post-rebirth, he was back to absolute zero. But naked, he just stared at the status window. The smithy watched. Jaw dropped, asking where his drip went. Heart rate hit 250, so the server kicked him to save his life. Smithy figured the dude just warped back to reality. He wanted to scream, thanks for the brain blast. Boss knew they'd cross paths again. Sooner or later, time for him to finally start roaming, quitting the boring Stuken place. NPC life. Smithy realized, even with a miracle, he was still a total noob. But thinking of Ted, he just swore to chill until their reunion dropped. Never seen a player that cracked in his whole life. To the guy who pulled 19 miracles, he wished epic RNG forever. Fast forward 3 whole years later, big suits were sweating it out in a game dev meeting. They were yapping about some op-enchanted weapon. Nobody's seen stats that high. You do that, you're a god. Talking odds of 10 enchants in 15 levels. The chances are actually insane. If that hits, new levels will be nightmare mode for kids. So go find the tryhards hitting level 19. Think anyone can actually get that lucky? Ted somehow pulled it off, shocking even his own brain. Didn't feel like a dream, though he'd lost 10 years of grind. Kept the level, but his skills and titles went poof. Years of work gone. But hey, still got that plus 19 weapon? With that stick, he can grind back to the top. Figured with the game's strongest toy, nothing else mattered. Leaving his cave, Ted needed real food after that marathon. Then, bam, our hero spotted something sus sitting right at his front door. A bright yellow envelope screaming, look at me on the mat. Saw some boring paperwork peeking out. Could be a mail, but he ripped it open to snoop the details anyway. Once he read it, his face went beet red. Total rage mode activated. Ted was like, yo, what is this trash? He was seriously not vibing with that letter. Lenoa told the boss, Ted's character got officially yeeted. Boss asked if the deletion went down without glitches. The warlock said the tracking spell just fell off. Not just remove targets gone, but there's a catch. Since this guy knows they're farming bosses for themselves, Lenoa wiped his memory clean. EDK if that actually fixes anything though. Master told the warlock to chill. Why stress if he spills the tea? Who'd even believe him? Huangju scoffed. She swore their guild strictly yeah, right. They don't mess around unless there's actual beef. Some hydra-wrecked the ships. Just an accident on the trade route, Avi. And since there were no players aboard, everyone who aggroed the boss just got wiped instantly. Hengi claims it's just a total RNG fluke. Happens to gamers globally. 0 receipts exist, proving they had any hand in it. Good luck suing without proof? Genius. Bouncing out? She asked her minion what was eating him. What exactly? What's messing with his head, RN? Manhwa told her the snake drama is living rent-free in his head. Hengi remembered the devs just nerfed the rulebook hard. Now Pakers can't just run wild with 0 consequences. Yet their clan legally wrecked his tune. 2 fronts. Spamming every exploit in the system. Eminoko sat home raging. Account ban over a lawsuit, LOL. The audacity to actually sue him. Rights violation. Pels. Kiting bosses is against 2s anyway. But who's actually dumb enough to cry to the mods about that? Are they delusional? Suing him? Good luck. He noticed the court date is still TBD though. So winning isn't even their endgame. They want to drain his wallet with fees so he starves and rage quits life. Maybe leak the dirt to Rudisa TV and the dev get him investigated? Nah, bad idea. That just dooms the leaker. They'll pull strings and bury it. Pointless? Even if they know his weapon buffs, respawning wiped, all his hexes clean. So they figure his tune is deleted for sure. They want war. Bet he'll go full chaos mode, no rules attached. Ted wasn't playing around, and grabbed the mail to figure out how to clap back at their claims. He logged in, brainstorming the first step to get his groove back. First order of business. Equip that teddy mask so guild creepers don't spot him. Ted kept the name and rolled a random enchant. Figured it'd trash itself instantly, but he had to pawn his epics just to afford basic starter junk. Spotted Brayman's hammer, grabbed it, and wondered if the smith god left this toy here by mistake. Dude realized his char got masterclass purely cause of him. Prob should visit when his level isn't total trash. Suddenly, Ted heard a super sus noise drifting from some bushes nearby. Classic horror movie vibes. He grabbed his weapon, freaking out. But it was just a level 1 horned bunny. Phew. Major relief. Cool. Time to test this shiny enchanted gear. Get a wreck stuff. But wait. Low stats equals 0 damage. So he smacked the bunny fast. But nope, didn't die. Ted thought he smoked it. But honestly, he just gave it a tiny bump on the noggin. Broa is confused. Is this a joke? Can't even one-shot a level 1 mob? Lame F. He has this sick op weapon, so why is his damage basically nothing? Saw 0.1% growth. Needs to grind levels to get buffed. Read the description. This skill sphere unlocks cheat code skills you can't get normally, and you can max out every single one. Basically, pump any skill to god tier. Ted figured with this crazy power, he'd not only become a legend, but also crush that rival guild and own the leaderboards. Dude started laughing, like a villain plotting revenge. While the poor level 1 mob sneaked away in terror, he realized before picking his main class, he gotta grind some serious levels first. So he headed to Deep Eagle Forest. A level 10 Zone 4 fast XP, risky, but worth it. Saw some random noobs arguing tactics. One yelled at the tank to pull aggro already. Tank was like, dude, that thing one-shots people. Warlock, you're ranged. You handle it. Warlock claimed he was totally out of mana and could only cast basic shields. As they charged in, they suddenly saw a player turning into glowy, dead pixels. Tank screamed. That was our guy. Total panic mode. Then his buddy just vanished into thin air too. Left nothing but a sad magic hat on the ground. Dude was shook. Gotta bail before he's toast. But right as he thought that, Ted got smacked by a huge gust of wind from some beast. He didn't even realize what the heck was happening. He scanned the area, trying to spot who or what just jumped him. Caught a glint off his weapon. The young guy spotted a massive monster bird circling the woods, hunting for a snack. Basically a giant eagle reaching out with razor claws to wreck this solo player. The Deep Eagle Woods looked chill and peaceful, but a greedy killer was lurking there right now. This savage eagle could delete a careless traveler in 2 seconds with those claws. Suddenly, a wicked beam of energy zoomed past, aiming straight for the flying dino. Tad aimed from the bushes. Time to power level back to the top, he thought. Being level 7 is pretty trash compared to his old level 600 stats, but he figured his weapon damage was already over 300 today. Ted heard sketchy shouting from other players sounded bad. He worried for the noobs. Checking it out, he saw smoke rising near the fight zone. He was wondering what kind of drama was going down and if he should jump in. But Tad knew the main attraction here was the White Eagle, the legendary region boss, a massive predator that blocks out the sun with its shadow. Ted knew the monster on everyone in PCS players and chased them down relentlessly. The eagle's HP is low for a boss, but the thing's aggression makes it a beast against unprepared players. It's crazy fast and hostile, making it hard to target. Total nightmare for newbies. Man, he used to get wrecked by this guy back in the day. It got so bad, Ted literally spent real cash on gear just to get even. But now, Tad held his cool gun. All he could think about was payback. When this eagle destroys innocent noobs, it's time for some serious karma. Justice served. The beast spotted him and screeched, alerting the whole forest. Ted fired a gnarly yellow beam from his enchanted cannon right at the bird hovering above. The shot punched through the wing, leaving a huge hole. Critical hit. The wounded bird spun around, furious that some shrimp dared attack it. Staying airborne was super hard now. It was wobbling like it forgot how to fly. The raptor dive-bombed, beak forward, trying to one-shot its attacker. Tad kept blasting his cannon, forcing the giant bird to keep its distance. The dude was mega beams everywhere, trying to tag the dodging chicken. Boom! Direct hit. The eagle's wing lit up like a barbecue grill. The angry beast tried to land and grab a huge log to smash him with. It clawed the tree, ripping it out of the ground like a weed. Birdzilla lifted the timber, plotting some nasty payback plan. Too bad it's bird-brained. Tad said, nope, and shot straight for its feet. Timber, the log dropped right out. Not just the wood, the monster lost a talon too. Tad clipped another wing, totally grounding the beast. The predator was getting absolutely wrecked. Soloing a boss like this, pretty insane skills. The creature squawked, realizing it was game over. The big bird crashed hard, knowing it was too broken to fly. GG. Tad walked up, grinning about finally getting his revenge. Ambush bonus. His stealth level leveled up for extra XP. Sweet. So, our hero decided to savor destroying this nightmare from the past. He ended the bird with one last shot, and its death scream echoed through the woods. Spooky. Loot time. He scored 2 eagle feathers. That totally pays for the ammo he wasted. Checked his stats daily XP grind. Complete. Level up. Looking around. That nostalgia hit him hard. It was the Musketeer Academy. Terrace, the old boss, once wanted to train him. Back then, Tad was like, and went the solo player route instead. But hey, people change, right? So Tad's back to give it another shot. Doors opened, and he told the guard he had biz with the master. Then Raiden, the top-tier musketeer, showed up. Tad realized this guy was a specialista, level 500 class. The dude coldly said he, the boss now, and they weren't taking new. Basically told him to get lost and find another school. Todd was totally shook. Wait, Wasn't Master Shiboli running this joint? He offered to teach Tad years ago. Why the sudden swap? What crazy drama happened while he was a... Tad explained he was almost that master's student, and asked, what gives? Raiden just lost it. Dude went ballistic. Eyes glowing, a creepy blue with pure rage. Ted claimed Master Shiboli wanted him as an apprentice. But stuff was crazy back then, so he had to pass. They stayed cool after that, though. Hearing that, Raiden snatched him up by the collar. You lying dirtbag? You here to mock me with fairy tales? Ted was totally lost on why. The sudden aggro, he was just dropping truth. No shade. Raiden spat. What friendship? How do you not? No, the guy vanished years ago. Some pal you are? Ted froze. Wait, Master Shiboli was actually missing inside the game? That's bad news. Raiden growled. If enemy spec ops sent you, beat it. Right now, or get wrecked. Say his name again? Kid? And I'll rip your tongue out. But Ted wasn't lying. He knew the history. Every word was legit. No faking here. He didn't care about clout, but this rude treatment. Nah. So he dropped the secret code. Exam 40. Raiden blinked, huh? He squinted. The heck is that supposed to mean? Means you were Shiboli's junior? Ted smirked. Since Exam 40 is still a thing at this school. Raiden paused. Okay, so you actually studied here. Let me take the test, Ted said. Then we talk. Master Shiboli made Exam 40 just for kicks. It's exclusive to the Musketeer class here. 10 coins, 10 shots, 10 seconds, 10 meters. The rules haven't changed in ages. Raiden sighed. Fine, you're an alum. But his apprentice? No way. Watch me, Ted replied. I'll prove it and get my class. The master nodded. I'll go set up the range. Then, wait here. Ted grinned. Finally, a shot at this. Every academy drops different loot upon grad. Here, it's the 1,000-step skill. Super rare. Since this class relies on zooming around, that skill is basically required meta. He needs that passive buff and the right class to grind his stats properly. Suddenly, he spotted Runaro, the armorer. Small world. Ted waved. Yo, long time no see. Man, it had been ages since they hung out in-game or I. But the dude just ghosted him, walked right past. Ted was like, why's Rono acting so weird? Dude's worked for Shiboli for ages. Is he clueless? Then it clicked the bear mask. The range looked totally wrecked. Figured the prizes probably got swapped too. He stepped up, thinking, man, this place fell off while I was gone. Where'd Big Shot Master Shiboli actually vanish to? Did he ghost us forever, or just bounce overseas? Raiden said he'd grab a standard musket from the rack. To keep it fair, then reread the rules just in case. Hit 10 coins, 10 meters out, in 10 seconds. Pass. Teach added, start when you're zoned in and ready. The kid grabbed the sketchy piece and aimed, but something felt super off. Ted spotted a major glitch with the scope instantly. Totally crooked and wanky. Garbage gear. Part of the test, but why hand me junk for a serious exam? So he spun around to grill Ronero about it. Then it clicked. That jerk had rigged it so he'd fail. Raiden asked, sup? Thought you'd ace this. Why? Freezing up now. Just gotta clear something up first. Ted told the crowd. He hoisted the long gun. Promised a quick lesson on accuracy. Bam! He sniped the Smith's hoot. Dead on. Dude froze. Totally shook. Poor guy. Nearly faceplanted from the scare. Teacher was furious at the stunt. You can't shoot people. But wait, Raiden paused. Ted aimed for the head. To miss the skull? At that range, yeah, this gun is busted trash. Raiden apologized, offering a swap. Just don't do that again. Then the mage had a light bulb moment. Only 1.5 meters to the guy's face. Factor in stance and that left lining sight. 15 centimeters off, just aim right and down. So Ted just started blasting those gold coins. The teacher gaped, amazed at how he nailed him even with that janky scope. 10 seconds flat, boom, test pass legally. Ted turned to the crowd. Like my skills? Raiden, totally spooked and impressed, said, yeah, you passed. But it ain't just about sharpshooting. Magic driver recharge takes exactly 1 second. One slip up and you're toast. Ted calculated the trajectory like an aimbot, timing every hit to land exactly on the beat. Is this dude seriously just a level 10 noob with zero combat class? The pro realized Tad was actually cracked at the game. No wonder Master Shiboli was totally obsessing over him back then. Raiden said he'd prep the class, switch ASAP, so the guy just had to chill a sec. Tad gave a thumbs up, but honestly, he was low-key freaking out, because that test was way too close to a game over. He barely snagged that last coin right as the timer hit 0. Total clutch move. The guy imagined the absolute cringe fest. ... If he faceplanted the exam after acting like such a boss, only one thought was living rent-free in his head now. That jerk gunsmith nearly wrecked the whole run with his little prank. Side quest time. Deal with that sassy gunsmith once and for all. He spun on Rono, demanding to know ... how how he had the nerve to ghost him like that. Dude slipped him a garbage scope that nearly tanked his whole exam. Rono got salty, blaming Tad for making their fave master Shibboleth dip. Smith said the school was flopping hard with 0 famous grads lately. So Shibboleth was super hyped to recruit. Dad. But he ruthlessly rejected the invite, so the master raged. Shibboleth was like, I'm done teaching, and just ghosted everyone. Tad was like, so you gave me a broken gun just because you're mad? The reply was basically that the ... Smith knew Tad was unstoppable, but just couldn't sit there doing nothing. Renaro added that Tad was the master's only hope, and treated him like trash. The boy finally clicked on why ... The armorer was so triggered, seeing what Shibboleth did for him. But back then he only cared about leaderboards, not some NPC tutor. The Smith said he hoped Tad ... WOULDO and dib again after leveling up, then handed him a box. He was shook getting a loot drop from this salty dude. Runo explained that before the master bounced, he had ... left this gift behind for the kid just in case he showed up. Tad realized even though the Smith was mad, he was still loyal. Even for an NPC, the feels were real. Rono apologized one more time. Tell him to come back. The Smith admitted he messed up big time. Now he can finally chill in peace. Time to unbox this mystery item and see what the loot is. He wondered what kind of gear the ... legendary Master Shibboleth dropped for him before vanishing. Ted cracked the box open, and red crystals started shimmering like magic. As he fully opened it, the loot began to ... glow up, and he legit couldn't believe his eyes. The box was glowing so bright, I practically needed shades just to look at it. Ted grinned. No way. A legit skill sphere. That's like the rarest drop in the game. It's a rank D solo gem super, rare and worth big bucks to the pros. He knew he'd totally struck gold. Master really hooked him up this time. These spheres pack abilities you can't even unlock in the normal skill trees. Thanks to his hexagram lure title, even trastier skills, go beast mode. So, mixing a solo skill with the 6-pointed star opens up upgrade paths nobody's ever seen before. Exactly what he needs to build the ultimate OPP character. He smirked. Big thanks to Master Shib. Time to pop this bad boy open. Then he saw the skill. Summon Goblin. His jaw hit the floor. He thought, seriously, goblins? Those runts are like the weakest mobs ever. Maybe there's more loot. He shook the box, hoping for an extra drop. A crumpled note fell out. He read it aloud. You're delusional if you thought I'd leave you, actual treasure. Consider this, my petty payback for you ditching school like a jerk. Got beef. Catch me in Ash Sky City. After finishing, he totally got the picture. The master had absolutely pranked him. Ted was fuming. He knew Shibboleth was a troll, but this was next level. Didn't think the old man had it in him? Later, he was chilling in the Plains zone for level 20 plus. He was wrecking green beasts that looked like classic RPG orcs. Other players were grinding nearby too. A girl yelled at her teammate, "Just keep aggro, you idiot. You have no idea how many times I've healed your sorry, but today." Suddenly, they noticed. Their target got one-shotted from nowhere. Is there a sniper camping here? Everyone scanned the area, trying to spot the camper stealing kills. Ted, hiding in the brush, had just hit level 50. He wondered how long he'd been AFK farming. Power leveling was cool and all, but this grind was a total snoot. He'd finally unlocked the musketeer class and snagged that sweet 1,000 steps passive for speed. Raiden told him, "You're one of us now, bro, a real musketeer of the academy." Ted shrugged. "Relax, I just wanted the class. Unlock, I'm out, time to bounce." Ted knew these planes were easy, XP for mid-level scrubs. But why help the school though? Raiden mentioned rumors of a weird black cloud freaking people out nearby. So any intel on this? Mysterious. Snagging that cloud intel would totally save their skins. Ding, new quest alert. Ted gotta check out some weird glitches nearby. But the dude had one rule. Hook him up with an intro. To the Thieves Guild. He's trying to mix rogues and musketeers like a weirdo. Rogue types got no school of their own. So, learn in single. Quote's a pain, but the skills are totally OP later. The boss was like, meh. He DM'd the clan. Done deal. Quest accepted. Ted was super salty at Sis Ghibli, but clueless about this Ash Sky City location. Maybe grinding these quest chains will finally lead him to the big boss. Meanwhile, he locked onto a green mob, ready to blast it. But nope, didn't even get to pull the trigger. CUZ. Sumile Sweatlord stole the kill instantly. Ted rolled his eyes. This keeps happening. Seriously. Who are these trolls ruining his XP farm? Then he spotted a floating drone cam following them. Probably some famous streamer clout chasing with his squad for ... content. Ted had to quit streaming cause big guilds kept sending him legal threats. Even right now. He knew he had to chill and not rage quit on these random noobs. Ted knew he'd get zero loot. From PKing randoms, it'd just trash his rep. One last mob to kill in level 60 is in the bag. Then blank screen. His scope view was totally blocked. He was like, what the heck? Just ... happened. Where'd that green mob vanish to? Suddenly, this massive white thing appeared, looking like a ... puffy cloud balloon blocking his whole shot. Ted stared. What is this goofy inflatable dummy? Why troll him now while a streamer is watching? Maybe he should just wipe them all so he can farm in peace. Nah, he's too classy for that toxic behavior. Priority 1. Hit level 60 fast and stick to the plan. Suddenly, those weird dolls were everywhere. Okay, screw peaceful. He was about to snap. A whole conga line of these idiots was ... standing there just to grief him. So annoying. Plus, the streamer screaming. Thanks for the dono. Chat. Shout out to the subs. From inside the dolls, they vowed to get the sniper banned by the admins. But right after ... that sentence, a doll popped into shiny pixel dust. The other streamers ... started freaking out in voice chat. Bruh, why did he just explode? They figured they could tank mystery mobs. Big mistake. Then, boom, the other dolls started popping like balloons. The streamers panicked, realizing this wasn't just a glitch. Sniper alert. They had to bail, like yesterday. But run where? They were sitting ducks out in the open. Gotta get off these planes, or it's game over. Ted hit level 65 wiping streamers, plus snagged 700 crime points. Ted grinned, loving how sweet it was to squash those bugs ruining his XP grind. Looked like they were level 150. PvP death means a full week ban. 700 crime points. Please, that's barely a scratch for a pro like him. But ping, a notification popped up. Intense focus. Unlocked a sick new aiming skill. Sweet. Total game changer for a ranged camper like him. So, after he equipped it, he hyped himself up. Let's keep the hunt going. It's total chaos, blasting everyone in sight. Players, monsters, ... Whatever, daddy needs X. He never guessed that non-stop shooting would buff his damage stats so hard. Not that he cares why, as long as that sweet XP flows in, he's winning. Suddenly, a system window with a weird message flashed. He blinked. What the heck? Meanwhile, the boss slammed his fist down. His Sector 1 squad, totally wiped out. The lackeys bowed, begging for mercy for botching the mission. You don't even know who did it. He raged. No one saw him. It happened too fast. They went. Had to be a sniper. Impossible to spot. Sector 1 is wide open. Zero cover from shots. The boss scowled. Killing the hazmat suit guys wasn't random. It was personal. To drop level 1, guy must be level 400 plus. He tossed a subordinate. A special item bag. Go get revenge. This freak is a threat. The boss growled. Use this on him. Fate Chronicles, the MMO, took over the world, hooking millions of gamers. Most Japanese players chilled in the Kingdom of Heron, their main HQ for quests. Plains huge hunting grounds for noobs and mid. Welcome to Sauron County, nestled right in where our boy realized backtracking is a massive waste of time. Fresh off a mission for raiding at the academy, Ted just wanted to speedrun this zone. Alright. Hero popped his UI to check out the sweet loot he'd snagged from his planar adventures. He'd just unlocked a shiny, unique passive, Mosquito Bullet, a reward for zeroing 10,000 mobs in 10 days. Ted grinned, staring at the rare title earned by purely degenerate grinding. Pretty sure the devs only added this for obsessive weirdos who slay 10,000 beasts in a week. It triggers auto. Basically, the enemy's HP gets siphoned straight to the shooter. Instant heals. It deals 10% bonus damage, with a life rate of 50% on that specific hit. Math time. With his enchanted gear hitting 8,000, stealing half the bonus, that equals 5% total steal. 400 HP back per shot. That's literally half his health bar in a single click. Talk about broken. The RNG gods blessed him today. Smirking, he realized he'd never need a healer again. Infinite sustain. Then, a red flag popped up. The local guards hated his guts. Crime rating, nearly 5,000. Angry NPCs ahead. Yeah, time to nope out and find a detour. Gotta stay stealthy. Keep a low profile when you're this wanted. Suddenly, footsteps approached. Ted spun around toward the noise, heard some players plotting. One slip up and say bye-bye to your gear. They had a pariah buka sketchy item for doxing player stats. They were roasting some dude, telling him to buzz off, before he got wrecked for being rude. Then the squad started whispering about their main plan. Pointless. Why bother now? Tall guy snapped back. You think I enjoy hunting morons who don't watch their backs? Then they saw Ted. Finally. Been waiting half a day for this. Ted narrowed his eyes. That book. Leaks player info. Who are these clowns? They'd been betting on when their target would spawn. Informants promised it'd be today. Ted eavesdropped and calculated. Nah, major guilds would send an army, not this skeleton crew. Better split before things get messy. Turned to leave and Bonkran straight into a stranger. Dude bumped into him, saying my bad, eyes glued to his minimap HUD like a total noob. Random guy started saying, sorry, then squinted at our hero, like, wait, something's sus with this player. Kid tried peering through the bare mask to see who was actually hiding under the goofy skin. Ted realized he'd gotten way too comfy in his cosplay. Never thought he'd get clocked that fast. Then the guy's like, whoa, you must stand that famous streamer bear. The random dude hyped up how our hero's holding an exact rep of Ted's legendary musket. Sick loot, bro. Ted stood there feeling awkward, wondering if the guy was totally clueless. Should he admit it's a fake? The fan just wanted to warn a fellow geek. Better bounce for your own safety. Man, confused. Our hero was like, yo, what's the drama? Why the rush? Fanboy asked if he knew the notorious guild Paprika. Ted shrugged, saying he didn't really know him, just saw clips on Twitch or whatever. Guy explained they're a chaotic PK squad famous for weird trolling content. On their streams, they frame noobs for crimes, faking evidence just for the lulz and views. Or if the donation train hits, they'll eat monster guts just for shock value. Gross, right? Word is, a squad from that guild. Streaming locally when some random musketeer wrecked their whole team. Ted knew they meant him, but obviously kept his mouth shut. Apparently, the guild leader, Peppa, took getting his streamers fragged as a total declaration of war. Now the dude's hunting for witnesses. So he asks, Ted, did you see that sniper by any chance? Ted's like, nope, nah, didn't see anything sus. I was just grinding mobs. Literally, nobody else was here. So nobody saw the kill. But the hunt for the sniper is on. Ted sighed internally. His luck stat must be bugged or something. Should have just stuck to questing and XP farming quietly. Then the fan adds, oh snap, forgot to tell you the most important thing. The real reason why he needs to get lost, AS. Yesterday, Paprika clashed with the Nightwalkers. Big time. Those guilds have beef, and Paprika blamed them for the sniper attack. Nightwalkers never saw it coming. Didn't expect to get jumped like that. Their guild took a massive L in the fight. Ted just noped out and logged off. No way he's dealing with guild drama. The fanboy stood there salty, thinking, what did I say? Thought, I finally found a buddy with cool taste. Out of nowhere, Paprika's goons spotted the fanboy and rolled up to grill him. They were like, yo, aren't you that merc? Our boss hired for the big gig? The hired gun groaned, why bug me now? I literally just got here, guys. Chill. Those said the boss just wanted to make sure he didn't die in the way. The guild big shot hyped it up, saying the boss is expecting epic moves for this crazy mission. So, he figured, fine, whatever, and dialed up the boss to get the lowdown on the job himself. He told the contact, yo, I'm at the spot. What's good? His job, just whacked the target. But for now, do zip. Nothing. Boss tossed a magic bag to his minion and put our merc on standby. Safe at his crib, Tad decided to creep on that Paprika guild online, digging for dirt like a total stalker. Bingo! A whole list of streamer drama in every brawl they've ever had. Turns out, Paprika and the Nightwalkers have been hating on each other forever, and there were receipts everywhere to prove it. Then some sniper took a shot, and boom, total guild war. Paprika's claiming the Night started it by ganking their streamers for literally no reason. So, the clapback hit some Nightwalker VIPs pretty hard. Sticking to their chill code, the Nightwalkers dipped out to avoid more drama. But Ted had one burning question brainroting him. Why is he always the drama magnet? Should he act, or will breaking the rules trigger a massive disaster? The Nightwalkers are this elite squad of pros, run by his big bro, who's basically royalty there. Should he step up and start beef with them? Plus, his bro definitely knows what went down. So, Ted figured, best call bro right now and get the tea. He flashed back to the messy family drama and the days they lived together, clearly having zero good vibes because they saw life totally differently. He knew explaining would suck, but he had no other option. Hyping himself up with courage, he realized he just had to make the call. Bro answered the phone, pretty fast, all shocked like, whoa, you actually called me first? For real. KO asks how he's living, both in-game and IR. Bro was like, don't sweat it. I'm good. Just drowning in guildmaster work. Then, he had the guts to ask, fam, update. Mom and Pops caught the stream. They're super hyped for him. Bro heard that and froze. Totally shook. Wait? For real? Why ask? He knew the drama but was sus. What's the deal? Did the Paprika crew mess with you personally? Keo spilled the tea. Ran into M while grinding XP. Those trolls are griefing all the popular newbie spots. Just straight up. Toxic behavior. Definitely not twos friendly. Bro was like, nah, it's tactical bullying. They're clearing the server pop on purpose. Paprika wants to own this zone. turn it into their HQ and flex on everyone. If they siege, random noobs just get in the way. So, they pulled a big brain move. Send goons to camp spots so nobody can farm. Rage quit city. Nobody stays for that garbage. Total rat strats. But it worked. Zones. Basically a ghost town now. Click Kyo finally got why they were acting like clowns. And he walked in clueless, crashing their 4D chess game by mistake. Oops. Once the siege drops, maps closed. Locked down tight. No entry. Got a speedrun Raiden's quest and eat out ASAP. Then bro pivoted, asking, how's IRL mom keeps asking since it's been a minute? Said he's chill waiting, no matter how long. Kyo paused. Didn't expect the field strip bro actually, being nice. Ended with Gala HF, thanks for the intel. Grabbed the mouse. To cut the call, heavy stuff. Then the brain rot set in. What was he thinking? Classic him. King of the L's. Just a nerd, in a chair, spiraling about doom. Bro was literally just thinking. Like, seriously? Why is his life basically a constant dumpster fire of drama? Why's the universe always trolling him, specifically? Like, go bug someone else. The kicker is, it's literally always like this. Zero, chill. Try hard or not, I still get wrecked. Always leveling up. My problems, digging a deeper hole. Realized, nah, not as bad. He just attracts drama. Bro is totally suffering. The fallout, and it's annoying everyone around him too. First, he stumbled into that sketchy guild boss-daming drama. Now trolls are literally griefing every single player. He definitely didn't start this mess. They baited him into clapping back. Totally unfair, since he's innocent in this guild beef. Just like that, years of grinding went, poof, gone. Now, he's got to find new trouble just to fix the old trouble. Ted decided, nope, not his circus. Not his monkeys. He wants zero part of this drama. Only one thought in his gamer brain. Get good. Get strong. Immediately. So he logs back in to chase those gains. Dude realized he needed to buff up big time before the guild enemies made a move. Only way to save his loot and keep his precious gear safe right now. Break's over. Ted's loading back in to farm hard. He swore they'd all catch hands eventually. That's a solid promise, fam. Back in Zone 2 plains, slicing up nasty green orcs. The other players are grinding too. Slaying with teams. They chatted about how mobs here are way tougher than Zone 1, so they're playing it safe. One dude told his squad, right, let's push. Then bam, hand over mouth, grimacing in pain. His avatar started drying up like a mummy instantly. His teammate gasped, totally clueless and terrified. She freaked out, thinking some mob was draining HP from afar. Girl was panic thinking, what to do? Trying to bail before she got dried up too. Meanwhile, the mosquito bullet healed Ted up nicely. Checked the skill, pretty sweet ability to have. Just one issue. He wasn't aiming at that. Aimed at the mob nearby. Oops, crime stat up again. If it keeps rising, he's banned from the county. Note to self, don't use that skill in crowds. Gotta boost that skill sync factor first. Dude realized he just needs to power level for now. Only one legit way to get past this wall. Slay big bosses. Like that main demon, but he realized there's one glitch he can't fix yet. Ooh, this zone is totally dry on high-level bosses for the XP grind he needs. It tracks though, cause these plains are basically a tutorial zone for NOOBs and mid-tier means he's gotta hoof it to a real zone with chunky bosses to get those gains. Slight hitch though, Ted hasn't turned in Master Aiden's quest yet. Backtracking now, total waste of time. Kid went full brain blast mode figuring out the play. Suddenly, a funky noise wrecked his train of thought. Everyone else started gawking at the sky and screaming like a mob? Nope. Giant sky monster alert? Ted turtled in his bush, wondering what the heck was popping off. Then he saw a huge beast soaring overhead, scaring the pixels out of everyone. Thing looked like a legit nightmare straight from the bad place. A high-level junior demon. Big yikes. He knew only a summoning bag spawns those. Someone's trolling hard. He watched as the demon started, charging a massive nuke in its claws. It yeeted that energy ball straight at the squishy players below. And boom, instant barbecue down there. Demonic fire started roasting the whole map area. Kids were getting wrecked before they even knew what hit them. Total NORB. Panic and hard cause. They'd never seen a boss that OP before. Staring at the sky beast, they were shook. Everyone tried to dip out of there ASAP. Even the NPC orcs were bailing. It was that bad. One streamer smirked, hoping his stream was catching this carnage and he laughed, saying it was hilarious. Watching the scrubs get wiped, his squad was shocked. The guildmaster actually popped the pouch. Guess he wasn't playing around. Streamer guys said the killer stands 0 chance against a level 300 demon. But then, the Paprika Guild dudes got a nasty shock looking up. They saw the demon take a crit and start spiraling down. Ted, camping in the bushes with his gun, mentally told those jerks to get lost. Gotta hand it to these trolls. They summoned a solid boss for him to farm. Ted aimed his massive cannon at the demon, lining up the kill shot. Funny how the Paprika guys basically delivered a training dummy right to him. He started to spam shots at the monster, and it had no clue where the damage was coming from. Using his 1,000-step skill, he dashed back to keep kiting the boss. He kept spamming attacks, wrecking the beast with his 19th level enchanted gear. Ted finally realized just how totally broken and OP his weapon had become after all the crazy buffs and mods he'd slapped onto it. It makes a huge diff when you're facing a level 300 boss. A win here definitely won't come cheap. Gotta kite the enemy and keep the DPS flying high. That was his main strat for this whole messy fight. The mini-boss raged, trying to spot the invisible camper pinging him through the fire. The beast was super salty. Couldn't spot the cheeky scrub wrecking him so hard. Floating there, the thing started dripping gross black tar blood from its claws. Ted quickly figured 5 solid crits would probably wipe this boss, but he needed to find cover. Like, now? Then he saw a massive black orb zooming right at his face. The dark goo knocked him flat, eating him alive with spooky magic juice. Shadowy glop covered his body, leaving Ted freaking out over what this cursed junk was. The dude realized with relief, dang. Without that new regen perk, his HP bar would have hit 0 instantly. Gotta camp somewhere safe, ASAP, before his stealth buff wears off completely. Checking his stats, he saw he'd been hit by a non-crit poison debuff. That nasty hex would drain him for 5 minutes straight. He noticed his health wasn't ticking down, like usual, but his combat stats were nerfing weirdly fast. He started feeling real resistance from the demon's purple energy vibe. Ted hoped he was still invisible to the boss and could clutch this round. Then the kid spotted the demon creeping right at him, glaring with those crazy red eyes. The Paprika Guild noobs watching the stream wondered if this was their target. The squad members were like, yo, what is he even doing? We gotta dip before we catch stray aggro. Then one dude just dropped dead, turning into glowing pixels instantly. They watched him glitch out and vanish in a split second. What the heck happened? Who one-shotted him? The demon raged, hunting for the gutsy sniper, smashing rocks and trash to find his spawn point. Suddenly, a massive cannon shot blasted his eye, tearing through flesh and bone. The monster screeched in total agony. It hurt like crazy. Tad was just glad he'd actually pulled it off. If those full HP noobs hadn't been nearby, he'd be totally dead. Now, he's a legit fearless sniper who can heal up easy in clutch moments. Our guy with a wicked smirk thought, game on. Steroid, gorilla. Let's see who wins. The beast was leaking bad, screaming its head off from the pain, totally losing it. Full rage mode. It started spamming spells everywhere like crazy. Ted knew inside. The mob was low HP, just needed one clean headshot. Now, so he cooked up a slick plan to distract this mini. But boom, plan ruined. Dude spots a drone hovering right there, snapping pics, things streaming live to the fans. Then it hit him, genius idea time. Grinning wide, he told himself he totally cracked the code. The Paprika Guild crew watched, sweating. Not good. Why is he smiling? If that sniper sees us, we're toast. The trio started freaking out on what to do. One stood up to bail, but another said, moron, where ya going? His buddy cried, chill out. Look at this loot everywhere. Dead noobs left so much rare gear behind. Gotta snag it all, fast. They stayed for the loot, but got super spooked. They saw other players out there, all trying to grab the fallen swag. They winned? Why are they grabbing freebies already? The dude in the clown suit said they needed the loot, but it was sketchy. Ted literally flew over him using his speed skill. Terrified, they thought, oh my god, what's that? Something just hopped on us. They whispered about surviving this mess somehow. Jester guy said, if they didn't bolt, then he saw something freaky. That demon turned on them, even though they summoned it. The beast swung its massive claw to wipe these losers out instantly. Furious, they yelled that the sniper was just camping. Let's wreck this demon ourselves, and in this right now, solo style. While they argued, a blue beam sliced right through him, dying. They didn't get that in all likelihood. It was game over. Total trap. They wondered why they even bothered. Should have bailed, but the demon's fist was already landing. Pretty sure that hit's gonna delete everyone. Ted stops camping the sidelines and finally eats himself into the chaos. He dives straight into the mess with zero hesitation. Then, he starts zipping around like human lightning. Basically, our boy scans for a camp spot to snipe from, trying to line up a crispy headshot on the boss. He spots the pixel-perfect angle for the GG play. Boom! He pulls the trigger and totally shatters that ugly demon's horn. The monster goes full ragdoll physics, flopping onto its back and crashing hard. While it's down, Ted sticks his gun right in its face for a finisher. Ted tells the loser, don't take it personal. Bro, trust. I just need the XP to get one last bang, and pixelated gore splatters everywhere. He grumbles about having to kite that demon across the whole map. But hey, at least he nailed the strats eventually. Ding, level 105 reached one step closer to the dream. The noobs watching are totally shook, wondering how he soloed that beast. Like, did he toggle God mode, or what? Now he sprints to the body to snatch that sweet, sweet loot. One greedy scrub tries to call dibs on the drops, claiming the rare items, but gets instead shot for his trouble. Ted glares at the lobby. Back off, vultures. Trying to ninja my loot. Guess what? Winner takes all, and I'm the winner. He snags a PK score of 5,000 for clapping those greedy fools. Checking the drops, he realizes Earn Jesus hates him. Just a leather belt. Seriously, nothing no. Vendor trash basically. Maybe 90 gold coins. Max Lane. But, wait, he also looted a vial of gnarly poison. It spawns an undead spirit from anyone unlucky enough to drink it. 5-minute delay, 10 uses. Okay? This could actually be meta. But Ted stops counting coins. He's got a way bigger drama to stress over than loot tables. Specifically, how Paprick's Guild of Tryhards is going to rage at him next. Meanwhile, the Guildmaster logs on, fuming, after yelling at his minions. Cherie screams into the mic, "What the actual hell are you guys doing? Our server takeover is a total flop because of you." He's baffled how'd some random nuke a demon in just 3 minutes. His damage output must be over 500. That's insane. He spent so much cash prepping the zone for their empire. Wasted. Charisse, never. I expected a total beast to be smurfing in the noob starter zone. Just one thing on his brain. Can't waste loot on fails. Time to call a pro. On the phone, the boss told the merc his Lil Demon died, so go clap the weirdo responsible. The hired gun gets it. But he's busy. If the cash is fat, he's in though. Master sure got salty realizing he was dealing with flakes who ghost on agreements. Ted was grinding XP hard, mobbing maps like a sweat. Now our guy was back in the basic plains biome, farming the risky third zone with the buffed enemies. Ugly orc lookalikes were spamming fire magic at him. Ted Ju. The fireballs zooming in from every angle. The mobs were shook. This dude was glitching through their auto-aim attacks, scanning the area. They lost him. Total ghost mode. Then they spotted a Teddish shadow way out. Saw the movement. They immediately nuked the spot where the shadow flashed. Then they saw something wild. A literal bone tank rolled up on him. The greenies were confused and totally freaked out. The bone mobile started blasting, landing crits on everything in sight. For the mobs, the only option in this mess was to accept the big fat F. Ted camping in cover was so over this grind. Dude, hated this map. Zero cover, just aggro mobs. But he knew he was too deep to bail. They were coming. Who's showing up? No clue yet. Then a raptor pecked him. Stamina tanked. He was in the red zone. Birds swarming everywhere. He just took the damage. Only way to grind the unshakable perk. A buff that boosts defense based on damage. Only procs if HP is basically zero. A must-have for tank builds. But for a plus 19 weapon user, clutch skill. But unshakable is a pain to get. The quest, get hit 99 times by 99 mobs. Wrecking 99 mobs. Easy peasy for a pro gamer. But tanking that many hits? Total nightmare fuel. Musketeers are squishy glass cannons. So this quest is straight up torture. Then boom, enter the ghost bird. An invisible spooky jerk you can't touch till you figure out the trick. Gamers rage quit over these things for one major reason. Mainly cause these creeps. Just nerf your stats at random, making you weak as sauce. Plus, they chip away exactly 2 damage every time. Like the name says, it just hovers and bites like a buzzing annoyance. But beat one, you might score some sweet The catch is, physical attacks and spells barely scratch these But yo, our boy actually pulled it off. Grinded hard and finally unlocked the unshakable skill. Tad thought he was invincible. Now, like GG, I'm set for life. But wait, there's more. He snagged another ultra-rare skill. Gift of God. Super exclusive loot. Reading the stats, he was totally shook. Wait, is he capped at just 2 special skills? What's with the nerf? Whatever. He got the good. No point stressing over the small stuff. But Tad realized his HP bar was blinking red. Need heals. Stat. So he popped his mosquito bullet skill. Meant to suck life out of enemies like a juice box. Gotta aim carefully, his PK score is already way too high to hit players. Then he saw the weirdest thing. The mosquito just vanished into thin air. Poof. Ted was like, brr. What? Where's my health refill? Instead, his HP dropped even lower. He fired another bug. Okay, let's test this glitch. Then, it clicked. The heal was failing hard. Cause that stupid ghost bird was intercepting the shot. It ate the mosquito instantly. No heals, just damage. Ted figured, of course, since a mosquito can't bite a ghost, physical attacks don't work. My attack is just a snack for this freak, he raged. He was salty that his skills were becoming birds. But then brain blast. What? It's eaten my bugs. I can feed it poison through the bugs. He whipped out that poison he looted off that low-level demon earlier. Tad smirked. Time to see if this toxic plan actually works. He drenched the bug in the nasty stuff, turning it into a toxic bomb for and just like that, boom. Lil Bugger went full zombie mode, glowing all spooky and dark. Toxic waste made the Skeeter a total phantom, ready to vibe with other ghosts. Then this spectral bird snacked on the toxic fly and instantly deleted itself. Rip, totally, big-brained bird. GGEZ. Stats just skyrocketed. Bro was grinning ear to ear. Shout out to the demon loot for making the grind. So up. Now, night fell, and that creepy bone tank thing was still cruising the map. It started, spraying lead everywhere like a maniac. Zero chill for the ops. Ted watched the chaos, popped a shot off and thought, sweet. Boom. Headshot on the tank. Time to check the stat board. Turns out he bagged an extra 44 points and leveled up. Next move, mosquito bullet. Skill hit 25% mastery. Stoked his battle bugs weren't so squishy anymore. Buffs? Ted figured it was time to hit up the next danger zone. Still hadn't spotted any weird clouds yet though. Gotta keep grinding to clap back at the guilds griefing him. Glanced up at the sky and saw something super sus. Moon looked freaky here, like a giant eyeball watching him. Suddenly the floor started shaking and glowing, angry red yikes. Bro had no clue what was going down. Panic mode engaged. He was legit freaking out. Explosion incoming. The hunters screamed. Gotcha. Found it. What a It was the Paprika Guild squad again. They were grinning, betting he was totally cooked this time. Ted didn't see that coming and couldn't strike first. Total disadvantage right now. One scrub watched, totally confused about what was happening, wondering where the sniper came from and why it wasn't going to plan. Right before his head got popped off his shoulders, one shot, and he turned into pixel dust. Ted clapped the first guys and realized, not for his mosquito hacks, he'd be respawning right now. But bro knew there was still a major issue here. That creepy eye in the moon upstairs? Definitely a reveal spell, meaning this is a Musketeer Moon Priest hybrid? Level 100 plus, scary stuff. He smirked and thought, finally, a worthy opponent. Time to vibe check this character. That creepy eye moon is acting like a total spotlight hog. It totally feels like he's playing a methodical game of hide and seek among the bushes. Ted, chilling under a tree, was hyped to finally fight a legit high-level sweat. Priest guy stared at his squad, currently decorating the floor, wondering why they rushed in without his so annoying. Total noobs useless in a fight and wiped out in seconds. But the thing making him rage quit the most? 2 shots later, and he still has zero clue where Tad is camping. How's this guy landing crits without a scope glint? Is he hacking? The math wasn't mathing. This sniper's skills scream level 500 plus. But why would a max level sweatlord be smurfing in a starter zone? Makes absolutely no sense. Regardless, this dude is way too confident about his hiding spot. Mr. Half Mage readies his cannon. Thinking, bet, let's see who gets wrecked first. Blondie unleashes Moon Swirl, spinning blades, zooming everywhere like crazy, literally bulldozing everything in their path. Trees turned into toothpicks and sawdust. Total overkill. Ted watched the chaos like, yo, chill out, bro. You doxed your own location just to flex those spells. Those swirly things are basically tactical nukes. Strong, yeah, but that's gotta burn mana like crazy. Is he desperate? Spamming his ults like a panicked nuke. Suddenly, our boy spotted one of those death spinners coming right for him. Heart rate spiking. Ted popped 1000 step to yeet himself out of the blast zone. The hero realized, this guy's trying to delete the forest, so there's nowhere to hide. Tad figured the priest was trying to speedrun the kill before his mana bar hit 0. Okay, fighting this tryhard wasn't as fun as he thought. But hey, time to clap back. He leveled his enchanted boomstick. He fired the musket straight at the dude, aiming center mass for that sweet, guaranteed hit. Direct hit. But a boss this level won't get one-tapped easily. Still, Tad knew that shot definitely hurt. A lot. The enemy freaked out when his OP magic armor shattered instantly. That damage output way past level 500. Who is this absolute monster trolling him in a low-level zone? Priest guy was shook, but he had to know the truth. Skill activate. A magical seal glowed right over his eye. With this crazy skill, dude links to the moon for extreme zoom vision. The baddie scans the zone. Sure, the mystery sniper's totally busted. Now, since there was just one safe spot left after the tornado mess, those sad little trees. Priest grabs a scroll, squeezing it like a stress ball to cast a biggie. It was a sketchy outcast tome, a banned item he totally whipped out to wreck the sniper. Crazy wind kicks up, practically a tornado yeeting everything away. A legit hurricane hits the woods. Leftover trees just faceplant from the magic. Priest pulls his piece and starts hunting for sneaky Tad in all that mess. Skill active. He figures, if this dude's a musketeer, I got him cold. Data starts loading. Sees the guy's class is musketeer, but level 100, that's it. Opponents shook. How's a level 150? Hitting that hard. Gotta be a hacker using aim. Some other glitchy nonsense. Then he spots the name and freezes. Hold up, it's Ted, the legendary sniper. Dude starts shaking seeing that famous tag. Priest starts raging, screaming, he's absolutely done. Not just a cheater, but stealing the great Tad's name. So, cringe. Enemy tries Moon Lincoln again to juice up on lunar power. Just one thing on his brain, he's spamming an energy hoarding skill. Besides normal, mana regen, he's banking extra magic juice. Blondie rages, thinking the mission doesn't even matter now. He's gonna wipe anyone faking that legendary name. Tad washes from way back, confused why the priest went full psycho. Priest burned all his mana nuke in his own, now just charges him like a nuke. Maybe the baddie has a weird energy, battery skill, cause that regen speed makes 0 sense otherwise. But if the priest really topped off his mana to max, Tad's actually in big trouble. Is this dude just salty? He can't spot the sniper? So he decides to just YOLO it. Ted sees red magic missiles zooming at him from the angry guy. He ducks behind a fat tree, thinking just one thing, main goal. Don't let the enemy spot his hiding spot. Hero, here's the mage muttering, screaming for the coward sniper to come 1v1 him. Priest keeps blasting rainbow magic. Shots at every spot, the enemy might be camping. Ted dashed from cover, realizing it was the perfect tick to punish the enemy while they useless shots. This KID triggered his vision buff to land a cracked shot for max deep. The slug smacked the priest's spine, punching through magic shields like wet paper. Blondie whipped around like a zombie tank, eyes glowing, super creepy. He was totally aggroed on the sniper now, ready to clap back. Even with a hole in his back, Ted didn't expect the dude to just shrug off that damage. He watched the round zoom toward his face, panicking what if his vision skill glitched out. Suddenly, Ted clicked on why this guy felt so sus. The priest was abusing the 1000-step skill to zip around. Was this sweatlord copying his legendary playstyle from old Stream V? The dude raged, screaming he'd delete the loser, soiling his idol's sacred name. Mr. Priest flexed that he ran the official Ted fan club. Talk about toxic fandom. He swore to PK. Ted watched, sweating bullets. Was he charging up that op moonlight shot? If he unleashed that ult, the whole map goes, gotta move fast, or it's game over. Ted popped his unshakable buff for extra defense, but even that might not take a hit from a triggered fanboy. Ted knew he was out of options. Time to burn his secret coup. Ted schemed fast while the enemy trash-talked about camping. The priest prepped, fire, yelling that Ted would get wrecked for identity theft. Then he fired a nuke of a shot at light speed, ripping the air with a flashy tracer. Musketeers are total bait popular but messed up classes. They're paid to win, draining gold on rounds just to deal damage. There's 0 aim assist, so you gotta actually get good and aim manually. Plus, you gotta drop extra cash on scopes just to hit anything. And they're squishy as heck. One crit, and you're back to the respawn screen. Even multi-classing Priest doesn't fix the trash survivability. The kits have 0 synergy and don't cover the stat weaknesses. And the non-stop PvP feeding usually makes noobs quit this char fast. So, the Priest wound up loathing the character. He'd spent 5 grinding years maxing out. Blondie was tripping down memory lane to the glitch in the Matrix moment that flipped his script. That insane aim, the jukes, enemies were matched. But Ted was just smurfing on him, a total god for musketeers everywhere. He was the GOAT, proving this trash class could actually win. And Priest drank the Kool-Aid, believing his Nerf gun class had potential, cause Ted cracked the code. After binge-watching every single highlight reel and stream VOD, he memorized his hero's entire move. One thought lived rent-free in his head. If Ted could carry with this build, so could he. Tearing up, he figured he hadn't wasted 5 whole years sweating over this character. So mid-fight, he channeled his inner fanboy, copying the legend strats. Everything was blazing after his nuke. He squinted, hoping to see the fake roasted in the fire. The blonde dude smirked. GG easy. Finally done. That's what you get for trolling a legend's name. But then, he saw something totally glitchy and impossible. A swap, instead of the sniper, a pathetic low-level goblin got clapped. He panicked. No way. Goblins don't even spawn in this zone. This weirdo summoned a mob. Since when do snipers get summoned skills, and why pick such a trash ability? While his brain buffered, he ate a massive crit. His green armor crunched hard. Did this guy spec into summons just for meat shields? He's low level, but plays with big brain pro leagues. Ted exhaled, watching the guy pop a vision buff. To lock on. Scope pointed right at him. He did his homework, Ted thought. Copycat had the legendary style down pat from watching streams. Ted, totally over this. longest duel, wanted to wrap it up. His gear was breaking too. He yeeted himself into the air, using a speed skill to dive bump. The dude gasped. Is that unwavering? How's a level 50 scrub got that ultra-rare skill? Ted closed the gap, aiming his massive hand cannon to deal the kill shot. Then it clicked. The guy realized who he was fighting. The fanboy froze, realizing he'd seen this exact move a million times on YouTube. The aim, the grip, the stance, knew every pixel. He even recognized the sniper's vibe. He was a total stan, knew every single random fact about his hero. Staring down his enemy IRL, the priest had a massive brain blast moment. No cap, he'd bet anything that this mystery dude is 100% the OG legend. Ted, priest grinned, chillin' K, getting wrecked by a legend. Weird flex, but okay. Not the worst way to go. Ted saw his screen blowing up with notifs about leveling up cause he just clapped some high-rank sweat. The hero was shook. Was this guy actually simping for him? That's how he clocked the fighting style so fast. But dude realized this fight let him jump to whole levels at the same time. Speedrun. Never thought that trash goblin orb would actually be meta in a real fight. Guess there was a point to keeping that junk. Figured it'd be key for being sneaky one day. Ted figured he'd crush his boss Raiden's errands tomorrow. Today, he's done throwing hands. Meanwhile, Shice is on Discord with his minion, who just admitted he took the L. Even being a pro, he got absolutely zero chance. But the merc knew the sniper gave zero cares about the town's drama. Unless some enemy clan hired him, the guild boss was totally confused. How on earth did a beast player get owned by some mid? So Charisse goes, big yikes, but help with the raid and we're square on the cash. The merc was like, 8, bet. Once I heal up from this beatdown, I'll handle that biz. Dude hung up, pushed open the door and told the squad, yo, I'm back, miss me. 2 girls on the team grilled him. So, did you nail that job or what? But then bro kept it real. Said he choked hard. Everyone was shook, jaws on the floor. He also dropped a bomb. To pay back his debt, he's got to grind in the next big siege event. The girls went full rage mode, screaming, huh? Could he lose to a scrub? He was supposed to be the GOAT here. Blonde dude just chilled them out. Relax, fam, not a big deal. We can fix it. Plus, I found a sick new meta. Y'all need to cop that goblin summon skill ASAP for Red Ed wondered if Ted Ghost in the game nerfed all the musketeers somehow. The rest asked how he flopped so hard if he's so cracked, and Halevi, Merc was starry-eyed, said he saw a legit miracle that changed his whole view. The whole forest got deleted after that insane fight. Just crispy stumps left. Classic Ted. Ironic, as Fan just deleted the whole forest. No mobs for a while. What? Cash secured. Time to hit Danger Zone 4. Peeking out from the junk pile, thinking, what kind of loot is hidden in this new map? Check the HUD. Yo, new stat, unlocked, vision but he can see everything in HD now. Aim accuracy is sitting at 54%. Ted figured it's decent enough for gotta keep grinding to find the good stuff here. And boom, mission accomplished. Then he froze. Wait a sec, ... Hold up. Exactly what he was stressing about. System ping. Lord Decay's trail detected, meaning a mega boss is lurking nearby. He figured Paprika Guild would use basic armies, but nope, they're going full villain mode, summoning a boss to wipe the resistance. A total server domination plan. Using a broken monster, the locals can't stop. These guys are super sweaty, but Raiden's quest is already done. Pushing forward is risky business. Feels like a massive conspiracy is brewing. Spirit Temple, level 180 wreck. Oof. Weird bugs buzzing all over the place. Flaming insects, don't get roasted. Ted took some potshots at the creepers. Tiny targets, but he nailed Emazuli. Smirking, gotcha, you little pests. The fire dragonflies he'd been hunting, swarming the water. Pretty, but deadly. Gripping his gear tighter, he hyped himself up. It's hunting time. Cast spell. Summon Goblin Squad. Ground glowed red with summon magic. Little green dudes popped out of the rift. Crazy that these runts are actually useful. Gotta use these meat shields smart to win. Ted really wanted a cooler skill drop. Something to boost his combat stats. Then raid some mid-tier dungeons, where mobs actually put up a fight, but the auction house was totally empty. Good skills cost way too much gold right now. If he snagged just one epic orb, he'd be totally OP compared to this noob level. A green summon crept up, looking totally guilty. Ted figured he should vibe with the small stuff. Right now, these gobs aren't even level 30. Weak. Need a speed buff. Then he can use Emma's bait to pull aggro. So, he turned to the gobs. See that firebug? Aggro it, and bolt. They panicked, even though it was tiny. After he said that, the green dudes cried, can't do a simple job. Dude stared at the pathetic scrubs and asked, seriously, why do you exist? He said, they're one-hit kills. Get good. Tad gave the summons some basic loot to boost their confidence stats. He snapped, quit shaking, just do it. The green guys still kinda scared, finally started the quest. Ted doubted they understood anything. Guess we'll just trust the art. Then he saw a huge bug swarm spawning. He noticed the gobs were just running off. Tad yelled, "Where are you going?" But the bugs ignored the bait and rushed him. Then, a pretty massive fire blast lit up the whole map. The green cowards way, in the back, were totally shaking in their boots. Guys stepped up, told them to freeze. Ted told the gobs he already explained the plan. Why won't they listen? To him, are they trolling him? Dude thought, they won't listen. Zero strategy. Totally useless mobs. Then the hero spotted something weird up top. Forgot the goblin drama. He saw a massive dragonfly. Leaked pulsing purple energy. Level 190, astral boss. Bad news. The gobs saw that beast and bailed instantly. They were terrified Tad would make them fight that monster. But Tad just laughed, popped one shot right between its wings, and boom toast. Seriously, it's just an oversized bug. Harmless if you aim right. Ding, level up. Beating that tough baddie also boosted his goblin summoning skill to a sweet new tier. Evolution time already. Tad wondered, seriously, one battle and they're upgrading? Sick. Guess grinding mobs with the boss pays off. He wondered what they'd morph into. Orcs, demons, something cool. Even buffed goblins would be awesome. Tad was hyped. Just make him useful in a fight, please. No more dead weight. And then, the magic show started. The little green dudes shifted right before his eyes. But ... it looked like barely anything happened. They just turned from green to silver. Tad was super bummed. He was expecting a major glow-up, not this. Silver paint job, lame. Tad groaned. That's it, just a skin change. Talk about a letdown. Felagi totally wasted his time on this summoning experiment. But then, he spotted something wild on the menu. He couldn't believe the new stats he was reading. The upgrade unlocked a killer new skill, mimicry. They could actually sync their minds with his to match his moves perfectly. Basically, they copy him, just at 10% power. Tad, grinning like a maniac, Tad told his shiny new squad. Alright, minions, huddle up. Looked like he could finally teach them how to actually fight. He found some stone mobs and started a shooting clinic so the gobs could copy his skills. Tad yelled at the silver crew to grab their gear and start blasting the stone things for practice. He deals 13,000 damage. That meant each gob hit for 1,300. He turned to his little helpers, said, "Okay, free fire mode engaged." Tad told them to smoke anything that breathed or made a sound. The forest echoed with the hyped screams of goblins, loving the carnage. Another mob roast, too easy. The silver boys were loyal little destruction machines now. Tad loomed over them like a boss. Freeze. Listen up. The gobos snapped to attention. Ted's training style was total drill sergeant nightmare. Ted barked, "Nobody shoots until I say so. Hold your triggers." We crystal clear on that. Folks, Tad eyed his new minions. Yeah. These little green dudes still needed a serious crash course in how not to die. But watching the squad throw hands, he realized they weren't totally trash. For rookies, they clapped a level 200 boss like it was nothing. Pretty cracked for day one. So, Tad hit level 200. 0 deaths. That's a shiny hardcore achievement right there. Because of that flex, his summoning mastery buffed to 30%. Sync rate hit 16%. His DPS higher than level 350 pros. Plus, while grinding, he unlocked empathy. Now he can literally feel what his summons feel. Usually, only summoners get this perk, but now his mini army is actually useful. Bro was hyped. A pocket army of beefed up minions? Yes, please. He turned to his silver gobs. Alright squad, form up. Time to bounce. Let's move out. But wait, one gob was a B. He started scanning for his missing soldier. System alert, pops. Goblin 3 is freaking out, cause someone jumped him. Tad raged. Who touches another dude's minions? That's property damage, bruh. He knew things were looking sketchy. Needed to recall the lil dude ASAP before he got deleted. Tad knew, if the gob died in PvP, the respawn timer would be a massive pain. Totally ruins the grind. Then he heard screeching. From the woods, someone was griefing his minion hard. Not cool. He booked it through the trees to see who was dumb enough to gank his subordinate. When he reached the noise, he saw a wreck. His loyal gob was face down in the dirt, leaking HP. Some rondo stood over him, asking, who even owns these? Just trash mobs from the woods. To mid-tier noobs laughed, calling gobs the lamest NPCs in the game. Then they spotted Tad, and sneered, yo, what's with the cringe bear mask? Noob cosplay. Tad went ice cold. Get your crusty boot off my mob. That's a player summon, not a wild creep. You idiots. Like you don't know, wild gobs don't spawn here. No way, my guy aggroed you first. He checked the gob's stats. Still breathing, 5% HP left. So, if these jerks back off, he can heal. Tad prepped a fireball. Boom. The bushes around them burst into flames. After flexing his magic, he stared them down. Say what? You deaf or something? It was his personal goblin. Those toxic noobs clapped back with zero apologies. Totally deaf. If it was his goblin, he'd teach it some manners. Dude got super triggered, thinking, "Fuming, who let these nasty freaks into my forest?" He saw his little monsters shaking in fear, clearly traumatized by these Goblins 1 and 2 were raging, thirsty for payback for their homie. So Ted snagged a +10 bonus to his sync rates spiked, and wow, his vibe turned seriously nasty and mean. Our heroes stared at his little monster squad, totally amazed, wondering how far they'd go to protect the squad. Then the randos chuckled. These pets are total weaklings. Why are they so salty? Zero fear left, Ted replied with a dark vibe. I keep them chill. You really should have stayed quiet. Big Nose sneered. Idiot, you don't get it. It means they ignore you. Ted laughed. Actually, my kids need XP on live targets. Suddenly, these strangers froze. The silver gobs were packing literal guns. They panicked hearing the first loud bang, like thunder in the silent woods. The girl screamed, seeing her friend get winged by a bullet. She shuddered, eyes yelling, "What the heck? Make them stop. We didn't even do anything." With one guy alive, they popped a shield skill fast. Did it help? LOL? No. Shields got shredded by Ted's strapped goblins. Player kill confirmed. Hero's crime stat hit 6,000 points for that. The Silver Lil guys were still mad about the bullying. Ted stopped them, sternly. Enough. Revenge today. They got owned. He added, it's been an hour anyway. Look, comrade number 3, already The 3 goblins hugged, super happy, stoked to be a full squad again. Ted stressed the crime points, but he had no choice. He told his helpers, okay, since you guys crushed it, time for proper names. Redskin became Odinga for that first battle bravery. Brown hair got named Waggy for staying loyal and tough. And he named the green Goblin Triggy for that quick healing factor. Ted watched the happy crew, feeling those wholesome team vibes. Right at that second, Guildmaster Paprika was raging hard because his minions kept failing their quests. Charisse had already smashed the whole des, wondering what that weirdo was plotting by showing up now. If Lone couldn't beat him, that sniper's gotta be level 650 plus, maybe even 700 or higher. He panicked, thinking how he sold his ride in crib to fund this takeover. If the whole thing flops 'cause of one gamer, what's the backup plan? While he was spiraling, his phone suddenly buzzed. The voice asked if he was the boss of the famous Paprika Guild, then the stranger dropped some intel. They knew he was struggling with the big county takeover. The mystery caller bragged they could fix the mess for a price. Meanwhile, in Soren County, a huge Gothic tower loomed over the city. The guards watching it were super aggro toward anyone acting sus. Ted spotted the bouncers and realized there was basically zero chance to sneak past. He'd gone way too hard on Now his crime stat was a massive 6,000. He did the math. 100 points equals a day in jail. That meant rotting in a cell for 60 days. No way he was wasting that much time in a virtual dungeon. Just then, a talking bird flew up, finally found. Yeah, it was a delivery bird with some loot, or a letter. Ted told the feathered mailman, I ordered that yesterday, took you long enough, gimme it. The bird got salty at the attitude and pecked his bare mask. Our hero sighed, chill bro, I'm paying you, relax. Fair is fair. Ted tossed a few gold coins right into the bird's beak. Still grumpy, the bird dropped the scroll he'd bought online. The guy thought to himself, annoyed. Why are all the NPCs here such toxic jerks? With zero chill, time to test this new item. Ted walked right up to the gatekeepers. The guards snapped to attention, looking tense. Glaring at him, they barked. Freeze, what's your deal? Confess your crimes. The guards whispered about how sketchy he looked. One noted, that's a hardcore killer. Huge crime stats. The armored guard sneered. How's a crook like you walking free? Suddenly, their eyes glitched out, going all foggy. Ted asked them, hyped, to see if he can actually glitch inside. He's drained from waiting. Then boom, the guard just lets him in like it's nothing. The two guards started whispering like total noob, confused about how they somehow missed the dude walking right past them. Guess the guy was hallucinating, or his eyes were lagging out. Clutching the scroll, Ted figured spending that cash was a galaxy brain move, since the artifact hides a player's stats for a whole 24 hours. True, sometimes the item bugs out against super high-level characters, tossing you straight into jail. Game over. Ted sighed with relief, thinking, whatever. Let's just ignore that glitch and speedrun this mission for Master Raiden. Raiden, who Ted was reporting to, looked totally shook that he'd already cleared all 4 danger zones so fast. Ted hesitated, like, yeah, I totally crushed it. Wasn't easy though. The Academy? Master grinned, saying he knew our boy was OP from the start. That's why you were the favorite of our missing master? Shibboleth? Suddenly, Ted snapped, shouting out, "In pain? Quit it. Remembering the past seriously triggers me." After that awkward vibe check, they sat down at a huge wooden table to go over the quest results. The master soaked up the intel and finally realized, so that explains the dark cloud the locals were freaking out about. Ted thought, Hardem is a level 450 boss in a newbie zone. But hey, not as drama anymore. Mission accomplished. All 4 zones explored. And he finally snagged that recommendation letter for the thieves. The master was super grateful, admitting the report really saved his bacon. So, as promised, here's your invite. Ted asked. Cool. So what do I do with this? Where do I train? Raiden stared at the hero. Do you know literally anything about this class? Ted shrugged, knowing they didn't exactly have an awesome life. Usually stuck in gross slums outside the city. Basically, thieves hide from the cops in nasty sewer tunnels, living that criminal life, Raiden added, skeptical. He didn't get why a pro-musketeer wanted such a sketchy Ted just gave a mysterious smirk, keeping his cards close to his chest. It is what it is. There are consequences, Raiden warned. Pick that class, and everyone, even cops, will treat you like total scum. Plus, thieves lose massive amounts of precious XP when they die, and you'll drop loot way more often. And obviously, your face is gonna be on wanted posters, with people chasing you for gold coins. But once you grab the thief class, your crime stats, like he'd vanished from the game system completely. Poof! Also farming XP by grieving players and NPCs in nearby towns. Total outlaw behavior. And out of every subclass pick available, this one was the absolute meta for Ted's current master plan. So he asked the boss where to find these rogues and get schooled. Raiden tipped him off. Head to the Pan liquor shop. Said there's a sneaky basement tunnel leading straight to their hideout. Ted paused. That lair was way closer than he figured. Then he asked about snagging the second-tier musketeer badge. The dude was shook that Ted was already level 200. Sure, but aren't you burnt out from all the fighting yet? Ted ignored the small talk. Just list the upgrade recs so I can plan. Every class has its grind steps. Kid, 4 musketeers. Step 1 happens right here inside the academy walls. To level up, you gotta literally live here and train non-stop. No breaks. You have to pull 12 hour shifts here every single day. For 30 days straight. Raiden figured the guy already knew the drill. Ted scored some fresh abilities. Tactical shot, passive, and a sweet double jump for mobility. He thought, cool, let's crush day 1 and show. Teach what I've got. Raiden barked in order to hit a target placed 50 meters out. 1 shot only. Before the teach could blink, Ted fired. Boom. Perfect bullseye. The mentor grumbled with slight annoyance. Dude, at least let me finish talking first. No need to rush. Anyway, he passed. But here's the kicker. Guy Single, quotes S region. If he steps outside, the whole quest resets to 0. Hope you got that memorized. Already? Turning to bolt, the kid chirped. Yeah, crystal clear. Ted added, he was just hitting the shops for loot, then calling it a day. So our hero strutted through the busy district, packed with vendors and gear. In his mind, Ted figured, shop should be right around this spot. Praying the devs didn't patch the location while he was gone. Suddenly, he froze. Boom. Spotted the dungeon entrance right there. He eyed some weird green plant. Looked like grass, but definitely sus. With a tiptoeing like a creep, he stalked that green blade of grass. Pray no randoms would catch him. Acting sus, Ted hunched over, clawing dirt to yoink the plant without wrecking the roots. Boom. A system alert popped up. Underground market unlocked? He grinned. Mission accomplished, baby. Yo, in Destiny Chronicles, trading comes in 2 flavors for swapping loot with players and NPC. First up, you got the vanilla dev-approved zone. Totally safe, totally boring. Just your standard shop for legit deals between tunes. Sure, it's got rules, but who cares about the fine print? Then there's the sketchy black market. Total underground vibes. Buy, whatever, whenever, no limits, babe. 0 rules here. But step inside, and your crime stats spike faster than a glitch. Don't be shocked if guards are camping the exit to bust you. This is where the rare loot live stuff the normal shops won't touch. My dude got a danger zone pop up but was like, yeah, I know, chill. Tad figured the vendor had to be lurking nearby. Some game mechanics never changed. Nearing the stalls, our hero popped his inventory to see what junk he could dump. He was hauling a bunch of bird carcasses from his grind session in the woods and plains. Holding that loot, he was ready to cash in big time. Mixed in were remains of those nasty ghost birds that terrorize the local townsfolk. Those winged freaks swarm in, and the NPC guards are to scrub tier to stop them. Basically, the army gets wrecked. So, to keep their soldiers alive, they put a bounty on the creeps. The payout. Special coins you can trade at either market. Dude scored 11 shiny coins. For the dead birds, not a bad haul. Sweet, he smirked. Enough cash to grab the gear I actually need. Now the mission was to snag a skill sphere he could max out with his 6-pointed star chi. With that star boost, his lame goblin summon turned into a beastly combat machine. Ted wondered what kind of chaos he'd unleash with a sphere that wasn't trash tier like the goblin one. Finally, he pushed the heavy doors into the sketchy black market zone. The vibe was, naturally, way grittier than the Sunshine and Rainbows shop upstairs. Scanning the stalls, the kid checked out the illegal swag. He spotted a copy scroll. That dupes any manuscript except the high-level magic stuff. Also, saw some spicy fire ammo. That deals double damage. But the inventory necklace, that caught his eye. More slots means more loot. Ted cringed. Ooh, quit staring like a total noob. He crept in, risking major trouble if busted. Hero Boy had one mission. Score a dope skill orb to level up. Gotta buy it today. Whatever the cost or drama. Rolling up to the vendor? Dude, asked for stock, but got a sad nope story about past buyers. Venda said some tourists raided the whole skill orb stash days ago. Other peeps tried to block and haggle, but those guys swiped every single item. Buyer went by Paprika or some weird spice name. Seller forgot their exact guild name though. Ted raged. They're nerfing the county by hoarding the good loot. So, the bald seller dude sadly said he had just one lone skill orb left. He eyed the gold orb, totally bummed by its stats and battle use, cause it was active lightning charge. Skill worth 400 energy, letting you blast bolts. Ted knew it was AoE, wiping whole squads in one shot. Right then, Hero Boy's eyes lit up with hype. He had to snag this orb. Hearing the 40 coin price tag, dude was in total shock, eyes popping at the insane cost. The kid hated knowing how the black market works, but even here, that price is wild. Baldy got deep, asking why the tourists skipped that pricey ball. Ted felt salty thinking how he hoped luck finally gave him a break here. Suddenly, a guy walks by asking the seller about sales. Skeleton vendor answered by telling the dude that the client really dug the gold ball, but who knows if he's actually gonna buy it. This random new guy started threatening. Seller claiming he was just curious. Seller's job is selling stuff, not yapping. So Green Robe Mystery Man asked the kid what he's buying. Hearing the dude wanted the skilled orb, he said, it's 140 special coins. Ted knew he was just trying to get ripped off, way too pricey for just one item. Hero Boy yelled, too expensive. Couldn't that cash buy normal orbs elsewhere? Jerk replied, beggars ain't welcome. Get lost, scrub. If the buyer gets the hint, let him scram and stop bugging rich folks shopping in peace. Ted wondered why a simple skill orb, that shopkeepers' toxic vibes, are basically customer repellent. If I didn't desperately need spheres, I wouldn't step foot in this dump or deal with such trash attitude. Guess I gotta chill since it's barely dawn. Maybe when the crowd shows up, the inventory won't suck. But that skill would be totally clutch for my master plan. Zero chance of haggling a discount from that Scrooge. Time to brainstorm how to fix my broke as a joke status. Meanwhile, Guild Paprika was low-key prepping for a massive county siege, hoarding resources to snatch the territory. They want total map control to boost their clout. But the players stuck in this zone, they're gonna get drafted into the PvP grinder, like it or not. The chat logs were blowing up everywhere. Everyone knew Paprika was sus, but this is straight psycho. I've got 30 days to ace the exams and hit Musketeer level 2, which is exactly how much time is on the clock. Realized I'm regelocked to the city because of my training quests, so I'm stuck in a siege. Great, my epic leveling roadmap just crashed and burned. And here is the kicker. This siege is going to be streamed on every major gaming channel. If my deleted avatar pops up on the feed, going viral is going to totally ruin my stealth mode. I'd get doxxed and hunted instantly. Haters from the big guilds are dying to gank me. Honestly, my luck stats have been absolute trash lately. I bolted from the black market so fast the whole street stopped to stare. My brain was spiraling. Why is this happening? Why start the siege in 30 days? What are those guild leaders smoking? If I'm stuck here for 6 months, I will lose my mind. Why waste my precious grind time on this drama? With a siege in 30 days, I'd have a one-day escape window. I figured I could clutch the win. Ding level 2 musketeer and yeet myself out before the war. I slammed on the brakes, eyes poppin'. What's the drama at the academy now? Some guys were beat. One dude claimed he could go all day long. The other swore he was gonna pay his tab. Blondie snapped. Same old excuses. Your debt just keeps growing. He told the one-eyed broke guy. Pay up or get lost. End of discussion. No other options. The cocky jerk saw me and yelled, "Move it, loser! Mind your business." Ted spotted Rono in the mess and stared. Yo, who wrecked your face? What went down? The Armorer groaned. Great timing, hero. You always show up when it sucks. Want the tea? Go bug the master. He knows. Ted spun on Raiden, fuming. What did this master actually mess up now? Raiden looked super hopeful seeing him, but Ted just thought, asterisk, who's the weirdo? Raiden spilled, that rude dude's name is Godzante, and sadly, he actually owns this academy building. Ted blinked, totally shook. Wait, for real? Raiden nodded. Yeah, guy's been hoarding real estate for ages, like a creep. Godzante is a total jerk. Plus, he jacks up the rent for everyone nearby. Total scammer. Raiden sighed. He tried keeping the school alive till Strobely got back. But nope, game over. That greedy pig swiped their treasures as security. Raiden turned bright red, just admitting it. To snag a second Musketeer badge, Ted would have to switch schools and restart. Oof, zero progress. Hearing that, Ted panicked. With serious dread, switching schools meant a full reset. No way. Training would end 30 days after the siege starts. Too late, Godzante's level looks low. Why not just end him? Quick fix. Nah, can't zero someone in the city during exams? Against the rules. Guards would catch him instantly. Straight to jail. He planned to bail tomorrow, but now the universe is plotting against him. Ted sank into deep thought. How does he fix this mess without getting expelled? Then he remembered Godzante, Smack and Rono. That was low, even for a landlord, treating folks like trash. Felt major deja vu. A memory popped up. Click! It all made sense. Got it. He smirked. I know the play. He ran to Raiden. Let me handle this, creep owner, he begged. I got this. Now Ted's hunting for the Pan Pan liquor shop. Secret door. Time. Boom. Found the door to the joint. The city's thief guild was hiding right underneath. First move. Check the back alley. Gotta be a sneaky path there. Definitely a secret dungeon door somewhere. Hidden in all these maze-like hallways. He spotted the right door. Stairs went way down into the dark. Spooky. Yep, definitely the thieves' hideout. Dark, wet, and smelled like old socks. Classic underground vibes. He kicked open the last door, and nothing. Totally empty. Suddenly, a voice from the shadows crept up. Dig in our creepy vibe kit. Ted grabbed his gear fast. He popped his vision skill to see who was lurking. Some rando joked that despite the goofy bear suit, this kid was actually sharp. Tisa, the famous thundercloud thief, realized it was kinda rude just bursting into someone's crib, uninvited. Then the kid saw it, the guy was invisible. A top-tier rogue ghosting everyone. The dude then said sorry, claiming the Musketeer Academy boss sent him with a guild invite. TC blinked, surprised. Wait, I remember him. Chibi student, the teacher's pet, went rogue. Crazy world we live in. Ted panicked. Wait, my stealth scroll is totally useless on him. This burglar has legit true sight or something. The pro explained that adventurer crooks are rare, but usually get rejected. Hearing this, the kid was like, what's that mean? Why the weird rule here? Turns out, the whole squad was chilling there too, just invisible in the corners. Nearby, but remained invisible in the shadows of the room the entire time. Tisa got deep. Smarts aren't enough when you roll with killers. Kid. So, the man smirked, missing something. He pointed at the potion in his hand. Ted gasped. He'd actually let his super rare healing juice get swiped right from his grip. The master thief laughed. You try to hide, but pros like us spot you easy. Careful to conceal their criminality are too easily fooled by seasoned professionals. But for a weirdo like you, no amount of tips will save your butt. Taisai grinned and said, Scram, kid, I don't train noobs who get robbed blind. The thief turned to his crew and toasted to the easiest win in their criminal careers. Ted just gave them a creepy, knowing smile. They downed the drink. It wasn't healing juice, but paralysis, poison. So there. Stats tanked hard, mouths foaming as the toxicity hit critical levels. They raged, screaming, You knew we'd steal it? You set us up? You jerk. Creep had known about the poison theft all along and had set them up on purpose. Ted shrugged. You stole it fair and square, Mr. Underworld King. So, Ted summoned his loyal goblin squad, making the thieves' eyes bug out. He looked at the perilous weak. Who's the weak one now? Huh? Get him. The goblins absolutely wrecked the helpless bandits instantly. That boss screamed, No way. Impossible. How's a noob this strong? Ted Since we're done here, double quotes, ... Just give me the thief class. Yeah. He grinned, got exactly what he came for. Bro, basically speedrun the whole setup. Ted grinned. Awesome. Time to test drive these cheats. He clicked steal and realized zero loot existed here. Wait, why the fail? Is the skill glitched, or what? Tisai, you thought it'd work instantly, noob. Maybe pay attention while I'm still breathing. Genius. First, enter stealth. 3 levels. Breaks, if you attack. So, whether your little heist, ... flops or rocks, depends on the crowns you score. 1 crown, total fail. No loot, and you get busted instantly. Super cringe. 2 crowns, you get the goods, but get caught. Sloppy, but 3 crowns. Now we're talking. That's the literal dream run. You snag the item, and nobody sees a thing. Ninja style. It's all RNG. And level dependent, obviously. Ted listened to the massive info dump, and felt his brain melting. Way too much math. So, gotta go invisible before swiping stuff. Got it. Alright, let's give it a whirl. System pinged. 52% odd. Yikes, he thought. Gonna target something easier. Apple seed. 75% chance. Let's go. Yoink, snagged an unfinished love letter. Weird loot. 2 crowns. Not epic, but hey, I got the item. Ted stared at it. Thieving is kinda easy, huh? Wait, who's the crush? He grinned, super curious. He started reading. Ty flipped out. Hey, that's private. Give that back, you nosy little brat. Ted smirked. AW, help a newbie out. Teach, pretty please. The thief raged. No way in heck. You literally poisoned me and wasted my squad. Psycho. Ted just kept reading aloud, savoring the massive cringe. Thanks to that sweet blackmail. Tisa caved. Fine. Ted asked how to grind XP faster. Later, creeping in town, Ted spotted a familiar face. That jerk who treats everyone like total trash. Gadzante, the greedy landlord from the academy. Dude charges insane rent prices, like criminal levels. Can't pay? He kicks you to the curb. Literally. And to keep his shady biz safe, this creep, bribes the guards. He's actually pretty slick about it. Ted saw him holding an identity hide scroll. Busted. Ted watched, realizing his hunch was spot on. This guy's the shady black market dealer. Gadzante's debt payments were basically just stolen swag. Can't exactly hawk that shady stuff at the mall, right? So, dude set up shop in the black market. Tip: every crook has a weak spot. Ted watched like a hawk. The boss clutched a thick book. Ding! That's the dirty money ledger. And our boy Ted figured the guy had trust issues. Even NPCs couldn't touch his precious book. Ted smirked. This was perfect. Like, career-ending scandal. Perfect. Snatching that book meant catching this slimeball. Game over. Only 5 days till the big siege starts. It was do or die time right now. Thief training for the win. He eyed his target. He hit up a random stall to buy junk. Just a little distraction. Just acting natural. So, the big bad boss. WOULDN single. Quotes. T-clock. He was being watched. Smart. Right. Ted peeked as the guy scribbled daily sales in the red book. Now or never. Time to pop that stealth skill. Alright, he thought. High stakes. If I mess up, my crime stat explodes. Ted reached out. Steal, skill, go. A loot menu popped up. Jacking stuff made easy. Whoa, check those success rates. Looking good. That disguise scrawl boosted his luck by 10 times. Total game. But the ledger, only 10% chance. Yikes. Too risky. Ted knew, it's easier to swipe stuff from pockets. Success rates jump way up then. The dude stashed the book. Boom, 100% chance. Jackpot. Ted grinned. Time to yoink that bad boy. Swish. Worked like a charm. He grabbed the book. Plus, double XP for the win. Sweet. I'm on fire, he thought. Let's clean this guy out. Snag Gadzante's ID card next. Easy peasy. And 3 crowns too. This skill is totally broken. Skill cooldown is just 10 seconds. Still invisible. Might as well grab more loot. Wait. Ted paused. Hold up. Whoa. Something shiny in the inventory caught his eye. Sauron's coins. The guy was loaded with them. Can I swipe those too? Right here in the open. So check this out. If he wipes these merchants clean, he can finally buy. Sweet skill orb he's been eyeing. Yeah, the lightning discharge one. It costs a fortune though, 40 coins on the black market. Yikes. So our hero hit the stalls, spamming his steal skill on every clueless seller. In no time flat, he racked up a massive pile of loot. 32 coins. Ted was totally stoked with his crime spree. Just 8 more coins and that epic skill was in the bag. But oh, his invisibility buff was about to expire. He had to speedrun this part fast. He scanned the next target for goodies, but she looked pretty broke at first glance. Wait, hold up. He spotted cash in her inventory. And get this exactly, 8 coins. Talk about destiny. Then he remembered his mentor's rule. Don't steal if odds are under 90%. These coins, only a 50% success rate. Risky. Ted had to decide. Play it safe or grab the quick cash. Ted knew this was his one shot to power up his character. But if he gets caught red, straight to jail. Goodbye, musketeer upgrade. Ted gritted his teeth. YOLO, he thought. He was going for those last 8 coins. Fingers crossed. And you won't believe it, he actually pulled it off. He grinned like a maniac, already picturing that shiny new sphere. But then the universe pulled a prank on him. He only snagged 2 crowns. That meant the owner noticed. Busted. The merchant immediately started screaming, demanding the freak thief show his face right now. Ted realized with horror that his stealth timer just hit 0. He popped back into view for everyone to see. Gajante saw him instantly and recognized the bear mask. The academy boss roared, furious that a bearhead was picking his pockets. Ted thought, my bad? Got greedy. He had to bounce before things got ugly. God snarled. No way was he letting this thief walk away. The angry owner charged up his magic and fired literal energy rods. Vowing to show him who's boss, he forced Ted to use his 1000-step skill just to dodge. Ted go. Those magic rods were no joke massive damage. If they hit, and it wasn't just power, the guy's passive skills were cracked too. Literally the worst matchup possible. Ted knew Gajante was out for blood. Escaping this, not gonna be easy. Ted popped his new skill, double jump, to yeet himself away and vanish into the merchant crowd. But Blondie wasn't quitting and kept sprinting after him, desperate to snag the guy at all costs. Godzon triggered a grapple skill to finally bag the cheeky thief. Blondie was totally confused. He was the same level as his bear. So, how was he getting dusted? The owner raged, thinking he had to crush the thief for his crimes. He dashed ahead to block the exit. Nowhere to run, Godzon yelled. Tad was cornered. Then the enemy shot a magical capture net from his hands. And to our heroes, Horror Godzon actually snagged his leg with the sticky web. Things were looking super sketchy. Real lightning started crackling around the kid's body. The enemy scoffed. Disappointed, you steal epic loot just to get busted for coins. Tad smirked. Did this guy think he was a total noob? The rival shot back. Hard to call you anything else. You attract idiots, but you never learn a thing. The lad shook his head. Nah, you're wrong. I planned this whole thing out perfectly. Getting shot in the street would have been a total hassle, don't you think? But the man just laughed. Tad wasn't joking. He fired his op weapon right at the guy. The dude panicked. Did one shot just nuke half his HP? Could he actually die? The kid was stoked, managed the timing, and controlled the chaos. He triggered his special thief stealth skill again. The enemy saw the trickster vanish but wouldn't let up. He whipped out a weird whistle and blew it to cast a spell. A rest whistle. It cancels all criminal skills within a 10-meter radius. Tad figured with that move, the guy was definitely level 400 plus. Sure enough, summon guards activated. Scary iron guards spawned in, ready for the kill. Once they're out, the manhunt is on. The enemy vowed not to let him leave, ordering guards to protect him. The iron mobs started inching toward the invisible enemy. Tad grinned. He had a counter for that too. He summoned his silver goblin. Squad, get ready to defend. He pointed at the masked fool, telling them to hit him, but ignore the iron suits for now. The fight reset, and the kid drew his heavy weapon. The silver creatures looked totally hyped. Finally, a fresh combat quest to crush with style. The Iron Guardians were getting absolutely roasted by heavy fire in that brutal fight. The bad guys were stressing out, big time. Why are these gobs so we're gonna get wrecked. Then it hit me. Spam the offense skill. Iron Guardians, go beast mode. The magic makes the bots charge. Like maniacs, hitting fast and super hard. His rival cooked up a scheme. Win or lose, gotta hit him with the loot snatch. It swipes all stolen gear from any crook nearby. Ted was totally confused. Why is he rushing me like a raging bull? Oh snap. To use that skill, he needs to touch me. The logic tracked. He's closing in to use that sneaky steal move. I knew what to do. Lightning jump. Gotta keep that creeper away. Popped 1000 steps to try. Snipe that dirtbag right here and now. Ted struck. Short and sweet. Tag his legs so he can't run. My op gun blasted at the masked weirdo coming at me. Lady Luck was chillin' with me. Bullet tagged his leg. He slowed way down. Dude screamed loud. Totally salty. Mad that Ted actually pulled that off. But the sneak had a buff. Unshakable. He tanked it. Even hurt the guy touched him and procs the item steal skill. Yoinked the ledger. Proof of guilt. That Ted's a crook. He thought he won. Game over, right? Justice served cold. Rules say all stolen loot goes back to the owner. Then Ted flashed a dupe book, grinning like a troll. Confused. And mocking, he checked the item, wondering what he grabbed. He opened the book, thinking he had the proof. But wait, Ted roasted the noob for not prepping. Then it clicked. Did this sneaky imp use a copy scroll? Ted knew things might go south and bought insurance for when his luck ran out. It clones any book, just not high-tier magic stuff. The copy speed is instant, perfect for scams. Dude was totally salty, but he admitted I won. Legally, I didn't steal the copy, so he couldn't touch me. Mr. Hein finally clicked. One leak of that paper, and his cash cow goes boom. Total panic. Modi. Enemies screaming, begging, like, bruh, what do you want? Money. Tad's chill, asking if he really thinks he can talk trash right now. Told him loud and clear. Fix the attitude. Don't act like we're pals. Resting. A hand on the loser's shoulder. Tad leaned in. There's one thing I gotta grab. Was it gonna end him talking it out made way more sense. Shop owner freaks. Swears. He's down for whatever, so I don't drag him to the cops. Ted's rule 1 show. Me, the inventory, I'll look. Then we decide. Back at the academy, everyone's screaming my name. Did he actually pull it off? Raidenshu can't believe that jerk owner actually backed off. Ted confirms. Mission complete. Rent's back to normal. 0 interest. Hater won't dare try again. Best part? Scored a rare lightning sphere for free. Major stat boost. Lightning builds are super rare and usually weak. But this star makes the skill up. Raiden, seeing all the epiplays, literally kneels to thank him for saving the school. The thanks was real? Dude just saved the place from game over. So yeah, super grateful. Ted shrugs. I'm a grad, gotta protect the home turf. Finishing the quest felt good. Plus, I snagged the benefit snatcher achievement. Eyeing the badge. Ted thought it looked kinda glitchy and sus. This perk ignores the level cap, letting you skyrocket mental stats. Ted knew he didn't do it for the loot, but hey, nice bonus. Path cleared, time to move. 5 days left to level up, hit 2nd class, and leave this place. The new gear from hitting tier 2 gave a huge buff to his fight stats. The look of the drip clashed hard with the bear mask. But who cares when the stats are this busted? Total op mode, with this shiny new orb, plus buffed gear, mobs get yeeted into orbit before they can blink. 0 diff. Bro was practically drooling, hyping up. All the epic loot and hacks he'd score soon with this setup. Vibes were immaculate, mostly cause the silver gobs were chillin' and living their best lives. Then, boom, mood swing hit hard. Something felt sus in this perfect paradise. Major red flags popping up. Why is everything going to smooth? That's straight up not how IRL works. Tad's only luck was finally getting his weapon to level 19 after failing a zillion times. Peeping the gobs, he saw their empathy meters maxed out. They were literally radiating pure UOA energy. A sudden ping killed the vibe. Papik's raid squad dropped bad news. The siege schedule got wrecked. Ted realized he was screwed. Stage 2 takes 3 days, and with the delay, total nightmare mode. Plan A was sieging on May 16th. Now it's moved up to the 10th for some dumb reason. Battle starts in 2 days. And spoiler alert, homeboy is 0% ready, body or brain. Dude was absolutely shook. Was all his grinding basically for nothing? Total waste? Tad flopped down, grabbing his head, wondering why the universe hates him so much. The silver pet stared, totally clueless about why their boss was crashing out. Like a light bulb moment hit, the trio at once got emotional, support their leader. Stat, the gobs decided to copycat Ted. Drama and face planted next to him. Squad goals? I guess. Bro was crying, having legit hoped to rage quit this place and ghost his problems forever. Raiden saw the meltdown and decided to slide in and ask what the heck was wrong with the kid. Teets mentioned, he snitched to the Earl, about some weird dark cloud Ted found while roaming. Count Sauron said delete that threat, ASAP too. Save his troops from getting wrecked in the next fight. He's forming a cracked squad to speedrun this dangerous mission and handle the risks. Tad asked, all hopeless, if Teach wanted him to go punch the cloud too, cause the second step was kinda doomed. Now, Raiden was like, chill, if you roll with me, you'll keep your streak. 1 Ted equals 100 basic new. Realizing he was totally out of options, our guy sighed, time to accept the suicide mission, and bounced. Sensei gave him props for saying yes, and said he'd packed the loot already so they could roll out immediately. Tad made up his mind. He wasn't spending 1 extra second in this boring trash-tier city ever again. The strat seemed pretty basic. Nuke the creepy cloud, then wreck those ugly freaks for good. Easy peasy. But fate just loved trolling him, blocking his escape plans like a total jerk. Ted swore he'd smash every single scrub in that lame guild, keeping him from his chill life and goals. Meanwhile, 2 fangirls were spilling the tea on the latest drama. One swore she spotted Tad in Area 4, but he probably dipped already. The 4-eyed chick hyped up the fact that she got the memo. The siege got moved up. Total game changer. The fangirl totally freaked out. She shrieked they had to bail now or they'd miss their dreamy idol. Her redhead bestie had a different vibe in mind. Since the raid's early, we can just crash the battle ourselves. The math was simple. If their boy was beefing with Paprika's crew, they had to jump into. Red explained the mission. Locate their missing husband. Didn't matter who they had to slap around to do it. Stans are easy to please, just let him see their hero, IRL once. Ted was already on the move, trailing his pro teacher to the raid zone to wipe out the threat. Dude spotted something kinda weird. Turns out the Count was a big shot politician back in the day. Scanning the squad, Ted realized these normies were all level 500 plus. One top-tier brawler asked if the Musketeer Academy noobs finally showed up, or if it was a glitch. the legendary Hecatine boss of the Warrior Academy, roasted the disciple for looking like a goofy cartoon kid. Ted clocked the guy immediately. Warrior Academy head honcho, cause musketeers and warriors have had beef for ages. Raiden snapped at them to zip it, pointing out that kids saved their school and threatened to throw hands if they kept trust. The warrior boss laughed it off, daring the one-eyed musketeer to actually try something in a fight. Someone stepped in to kill the drama, reminding the leaders they were here to save the world, not bicker. Renshin, the big-shot Mage Academy head, destruction expert, joked that the bosses should act like role models for the noobs. Hecatine stubbornly claimed there was zero chance he'd ever vibe with that one-eyed weirdo. Rin inside, watching his team act like clowns. He worried they'd totally botched this boss raid. Raiden told the kid, my bad, feeling super cringe. That he saw the adults acting like drama queens. Ted shrugged. Whatever, bro, I don't care about the drama. Just here for XP and the adrenaline. The squad pulled up to the drop zone, a super hard map where everything wants you dead. A mage gasped. Wait, are you saying that doom cloud is fake news from Paprika's guild? Is Ted trippin', or is that dark fog way? Lower now. It's basically hugging the floor. Magic meter hit 85%. Red zone. Stuff's gonna melt. Total wipeout incoming. The rock cloud ignored us and nosedive fast. Ted freaked out. This magic blob is smart. Literal nightmare fuel. The academy head didn't waste a second. He blasted the fire cloud with his own oak nuke. The team was like, whoa, nice shot, Gramps. Without his twitch reflexes, the squad would single goats before they could blink. Hecatine gaped, trying to process the madness. Just then, that giant emo cloud eat itself at the ground. Rip everyone. Creepy smog started swallowing the whole valley like a monster snacking on the world. Bam! Glowing red eyes popped out of the fog, shooting lasers. Everyone wet their pants. Players glitched out from pure terror. Frozen solid, couldn't move a muscle. Everyone's thinking, we are so screwed. What's the next jump scare in this cursed dump? Boom! Zombie mob spawns from the cloud. Skeletons and ghouls, the undead circus attacks. Ted spammed his mosquito skill, unleashed the bugs. Then he called in his trusty silver goblin squad to wreck the zombie army. The kid's whole crew was hyped to fight. Sick start for a boss fight in this hardcore zone. Ted knew the mission objective. Wreck the source or get wrecked. Survival mode. Get M, he yelled. His pets went ham on the zombies. One of the tank warriors, was like, kids cracked. Look at those skills. Hest was scratching his head about who this random guy was. Word on the street. The student was absolutely cracked. Time to fact-check the hype. Sure enough, Ted was soloing mobs left and right, backed by his own goblin simp squad. Dude was just vibing with that endless stream of level up dings. Hands down the easiest XP farm of his entire life. Meanwhile, the local warriors were struggling, whining that there were too many enemies to hold the line. Ted saw the swarm, but knew if the boss kept spamming zombies, the defenders would run out of juice fast. But hey, he realized this chaos was actually a total win for him. Since he could milk max XP from wrecking all these monsters, he yelled out that he'd nuke that stupid cloud too. Smithereens, while the scrubs kept busy with the trash mobs. Ted was super annoyed by the academy head breathing down his neck mid. Dude was totally cramping his style and getting in the way. Almost made him want to accidentally kneecap the annoying warrior just to stop the interference. The warrior yeeted himself. Sky height, charging up his 9-strike skill to dunk on the noobs below. The tip of his weapon started glowing, with a gnarly red orb, winding up some serious damage. He swung, and boom, red death splashed everywhere, hitting every mob in the zone. Hetten was actually clapping these zombies pretty hard. The noob's creepy tentacles shot out of the cloud and snagged the warrior. Dark feelers wrapped him up tight. Academy boss had zero clue where this gross goo even came from. The whole squad was shook watching their top fragger get yoinked by some shadow force right in front of them. The remaining heroes were staring down a massive horde of open mouths. Ready to turn them all into snacks? Ted watched in horror. Hechton just got crystallized by some weird magic glitch. The head honcho got captured, and now nobody knew the strat for this mess. Everyone was panicking. Total code red situation. Then the captive started glitching out big time. Something nasty was rewriting his code from the inside out. Darkness took the wheel, and the system updated the quest immediately. New objective, frag the Archlich, or it's game over. Their buddy had gone full undead mode, evil glowing eyes. Humanity delete. Strat change. Immediate aggro shift. Forget the grunts, gotta kill the Archlich himself who's controlling this darkness. The monster's eyes flared up with the crazy, bright red glow, screaming, I'm gonna delete you all. Everyone was like, you gotta be kidding me. Boss, possessing allies. Is that even allowed in the rules? The Wiz screamed that the hero's bod got snatched by some nasty glop, so we gotta frag him before it's G. Raiden barked orders, and the squad rushed Cap Hetchin, who went full lich mode. The squad spammed arrows and bullets, hoping to crit that shiny crystal shield hard. The magic prison holding our boy started cracking under the insane big issue. Not even a tiny scratch showed up on the rock despite the sweat. Shook the fam panicked, cause their metas were trash. Renan stressed, realizing that even top-tier pros couldn't bust this cursed gem with raw power. Vibe was doomed. Saving the bros seemed and Mr. Lich could easily wipe the whole raid party. So the Wiz yelled at everyone to rage quit and run before they got Suddenly, the whole map shook with yellow zaps, frying mobs left and right. That OP lightning smacked rock-worthy homie was stuck, lighting it up like a rave. That hit actually dented the magic shield. Shield HP dropped to 90s. Lich guy raged hard, wondering who actually managed to crack his uncrackable toy. Ted knew he did it. His new zap skill was op enough to bypass the shields. Dude knew this was a clutch moment. He leveled up, and this was basically the key unlock for his build. Ren Shin yelled at the squad to peel for the gunner, so he could DPS freely. Ted was shook that the pros were actually hyping him up. Originally, bro just wanted to farm XP on bosses, but guess he's stuck being the carry. The gunner squad kept blasting, trying to nerf that crystal's defense to 0. He knew he had to clutch up. Gotta break this cursed box and free the homie. The crystal kept chipping away from the spam attacks. Shield HP hit 91%. Shield kept dropping, hitting a sketchy 58%. With everyone sweating hard, they got that stupid box down to 1% HP. Ted warned that friendly fire was on if he kept shooting, but the boss said, it's all chill. Hecaton's corrupted anyway. Let him go out like a Chad. Ted listened. The beast inside wheezed, salty about rotting for 200 years. Ted panicked, waiting for a serious yikes. Even mid-rebirth, this zombie freak wasn't quitting. Big Boss raged hard. If he doesn't get a full ret, he's taking everyone down. Total rage, quit energy. Rotface just went full-on Grim Reaper mode. We're all just rotting till we drop. Gross. Everyone screamed. This beast was huge and hideous. One thing this monster has plenty of. Ego. Demanding we kneel? Dude, get over yourself. Arcalic spammed mobs that puke toxic sludge on us. Those dark creeps rushed level 500 pros. Even they were shook. The first zombies had hit the defenders, totally wrecking the army's vibe. The beast's hits added rot. HP dropped 1% every 10 seconds. Legs were literally rotting right in front of us from the venom. Talk about a doom spiral. Ted camped a good spot and blasted the freaks, trying to deal damage and find an escape. Guy got annoyed. His hits were doing absolutely 0. He realized that in all likelihood, the boss core was hidden somewhere else. What a total bummer. If he knew that earlier, this fight would be way easier. He yelled at the master. Core's inside. Blast it deep. The warlock listened and charged up a massive spell. Magic shot up to the sky. The whole place glowed blue. Crazy wind blew, launching ice shards right at the boss. An ice storm wrecked the huge body. Major damage dealt. The big hits stunned the enemy briefly and hurt him bad. Defenders finally had hope. Magic kept going, ice slicing right through his body. With that brutal combo, he finally spotted the core hidden inside the creep. A sec later, the core vanished from its spot, disappearing right in front of Ted's eyes. He realized the core moves inside the body. So cheap. How is that even allowed? Then green goop hit his arm, melting gear and skin. Ted got hit with rot, and he wondered why his RNG was such total trash. He kept running and gunning, but something felt off. Hope the damage doesn't waste. Weird. The Archlich isn't even dodging, like it thinks it's safe. Maybe the boss is lagging, like stuck in a glitchy phase? Ted racked his brain. Figure out why this OP enemy was acting so Ted screamed, sounding totally desperate in his voice. Just buy me a sec to scan it. Don't wait for an answer. Then he yeeted himself at the monster. He recalled a pro tip from an OG rogue. Looting basically has two vibes. Stuff you can yoink easily, and stuff that's unstealable, no matter the skills. Ted knew he'd swiped tons of loot before. The plan was, basis so it had to work on this lich dude. He'd use his signature move to snatch the boss's core straight out of its chest. Just a 15% drop rate, but with his mana pool, he could spam the skill. So, our boy smashed Steel Butt Nessie testing his RNG on the boss for the first time. Result, 1 sad coin. Total fail. Big fat L? Ted figured that. Honestly, this was exactly the trash luck he expected. But hey, 19 tries left in the tank. That heart was his. He mentally threatened his luck stat. Don't you dare ghost me right now. Ya hear? Ted gripped his 4-leaf clover, praying for a crit. Then, he got salty. At the charm, totally the Clover's fault is RNG sucked. He raged that he'd whiffed 18 times in a row with 15% odds. He was done. How much longer was the universe gonna troll him? He made it crystal clear. One more miss, and that Clover was getting trashed. He kept roasting the plant, demanding it actually do its job and buff him up. Finally, attempt 9, he snagged the core from the lich. The creepy monster bot dusted instantly. His squad stared, jaws on the floor. In that epic moment, Ted hit level 200, way higher than he thought. Pop-up, new achievement unlocked. He was so hyped. Pure vibes. Stats and skills went burr. Plus, the main drop. A black heart. From the mob, rare lich mat. Essential for crafting insane skill orbs with god-tier power. Meeting Brahmin means snagging a totally OP skill. This legendary blacksmith. A gear god who pumped weapons to plus 19. Best loot drop ever for beating that crazy arch. But, while the lads celebrated, his squad mourned the academy master biting the dust. Ted saw the truth. Unlike players, NPCs don't respawn. The Warrior Academy boss was gone for good, leaving everyone crying over the fallen hero. Count Sauron studied the battle tea from his minion. The intel said his troops failed, but one kid soloed the beast. Renan, nervously, hinted they should hire this dude for the siege. The Count was like, nah, he's legit. That sounds like a dumb move. The aide asked, why? And the boss said you can't trust mercs blindly. The mage kinda agreed hiring randoms is risky. Sauron broke it down. Mercs only care about their own profit. Half these adventurers just want to steal land. Others will do anything if the gold pile is high. Based on the wizard, hiring a hero. Battle cost a fortune. Most of our army is just noob conscripts. Sure, there are pro mercs, but they cost way more than grunts. Thanks to the Paprika Guild messing up, the county is totally broke right now. If this kid stops the siege solo, imagine the crazy cash heal demand for the job. We'd have to give him the county just to pay up. So, before we go, hiring him, think about the future headaches. Luckily, the scary archlick is already gone, which is a huge relief. Honestly, the county wizards are all buffed up for defense. Karis was raging hard at this point. The siege hadn't started, and the boss died. All day, the guildmaster had been scrambling to save Paprika's rep. Lone brought pals, but they can't carry the ambush. The county never had strong allies, but some musketeer wrecked him. Karis was low-key panicking. Did she forget something important? Just then, some dude barged into the room. He's like, yo Cap, why so twitchy before the big showdown? Tanichi, the human tank, laughed. Bruh, we have zero things to worry about. We are 100% ready to rumble. A girl walked in, asking them to please act cool for once before the ops. Ruri, that parasitic mage, smirked. You guys love talking trash, huh? The leader sighed with relief. She's the MVP of Blue Sky Guild. Top tier mage, no contest. The only snag, that Monster Slayer guy might defend the county. Everything was totally set for the siege, though the battle plan was detailed down to the pixel. Then a fighter dropped the bad news. Their megaboss got destroyed. The guy admitted that the news kinda bummed him out because he wanted that monster's help. The girl was like, relax. That lich was weak sauce anyway. Easy clap. So, don't be a crybaby about it. Karis nervously said the Monster Slayer might team up with the county. Gotta keep it real, you know. She asked the guy, guess what these necktats mean? Ruri flexed. That's how many bases I've crushed. Count M. Hearing that, the boss chilled out. Even without the lich, these two are Tanichi got hyped. Been ages since I fought a pro. Gonna be fun to test my skills tomorrow. Ruri was like, siege is tomorrow. Hey Lord, want a spoiler for how we wrecked them? She predicted confidently. In 3 days, we win. Party time? Ping. System notification. Siege started. Paprika Guild versus Count Sauron's squad. The Shire troops were sweating. Enemies were drawing some massive, weird magic circle. Why though? Are they spamming siege magic? But the county has a barrier for that stuff. Intel says, nope, it's buffs, heals, and damage boosts. Defenders watched. In horror, how do you survive that kind of juice? Warriors were so confused. Why go that hard on buffs for a basic siege? No one wastes mana like that. Ever. Why burn so much power on support spells? Suddenly, something crazy happened that froze everyone in shock. The guards spot a solo player walking up, acting like their doom has arrived. Tanichi eyed the defenders and wondered if they were seriously trying to fight 1 versus 100. The Earl's troops were totally confused, not getting why one guy would raid a castle without backup. The boss panicked, ordering everyone to turn him into a pincushion immediately. But for a guild pro, that is barely a warm-up. Time to flex the blue dragon form. Boom! The warrior went full superset, getting covered in glowing, overpowered armor buffs. That crazy blue aura screamed boss battle and freaked them out. There was a massive boom as their attacks hit his shield, lighting up the map. When the smoke cleared, everyone gave not a single scratch on his fresh fit. Hundreds of arrows hit dead center but did zero damage to this absolute beast. Then the maniac sprints at the unbreakable gates like he is late. A soldier screamed to freeze him with ice magic, but the guy was way too OP. He decided to unleash a blue dragon smash on the door. A giant energy dragon slammed the gate, wrecking the place. Tanichi stepped up, swung his weapon, and shattered their magic like glass. The defenders stood there, buffering in shock. How did their best wall get one? The commander lost it, screaming to fire the big laser beam. The troops scrambled to spam every magical attack they had at this unit. Whatever they shot, this guy just tanked it and looked bored. The boss yelled to his crew that he would stall for time while they ran crying to the count. Tanichi swats away spells, laughing. Embarrassing, how many seconds do you noobs have left? I am too strong for this server. The count heard a gate was toast, and his brain broke. His minions cried that no magic spell worked. The guy was basically using God mode. The count asked if the enemy had a tank or something. They told him, nope, just one angry dude. What do you even do against an invincible enemy? Sauron realized the musketeer guy totally ghosted them on picking a side in this drama. The leader knew they had no clue what they were fighting. With the base crumbling, making a plan was pretty much read the room and make the big brain plays to save the hood. Count's orders, zoom to the academy and drag that Ted guy here. Stat, bro was just vibing with his breakfast in his room, totally salty about the drama going down outside. He scrolled the feed capture news in total chaos, wrecking the county RN. Ted figured bitterly he was broke, again, grinding from zero while those creeps ran wild. But raging about it was totally useless. Actually, war chaos was clutch perfect, covered a level up in peace. He realized that this trash guild wouldn't notice him while fighting the whole county. Even in a siege, his haters are too busy to stalk his feed right now. The only real hurdle is speedrunning this siege and milking it for all it's worth. Ted Hobbsbeck in-game in the master hypes him up immediately about finishing a huge training arc. Raiden got all serious. Your tutorial mode is officially over, kid, then handed him the grad diploma he totally earned. Also, if he wasn't busy, Count Sauron needed him for some urgent gov stuff. Literally, the worst-case scenario just dropped. Enemies breached the walls and are flexing on the whole county. One enemy hero just soloed the fortress gate. So, the troops are gonna fold like lawn chairs pretty soon. Even pro soldiers and mages can't tank that kind of damage. Ted, hearing this, got curious. Looks like Paprika hired a max-level sweat. Things just got spicy. He figured this mess was gonna be wilder than his craziest dreams. Ted walked into the URL's crib and respectfully, ready for the Save the World speech. Sauron instantly asked if he knew how bad the walls were getting wrecked. The boss didn't waste a second. Yo, keep it brief. Can you save our bacon right now? Ted realized this quest was gonna pay big time. Hadn't seen loot like this in ages, even with his recent bad luck. He said bet asked permission for one big question first. The dude explained he'd outplay Paprika's squad with superiors, but to pull off the play, he needed backup from 100 magic users. Ted asked for 100 wizards, promising to fix the whole mess. Bruh. Told him the strat relies on magic buffs, so help a brother out. He laid out the game plan. Just boost his mana. He'd solo the rest. The spooked mages didn't get it, but agreed to save the hood. Ted checked the ruins and was like, yikes, someone totally trashed the base walls. That blue armored dude is leaking insane destructive vibes. Renan fired off and the guy, but he tanked it. 0 damage. Ted knew it was Tanichi, that blue sky sweat. No fake stuff here. These guilds are huge. Weird flex to carry Paprika in this war. He figured fighting this pro was a good DPS test. Ted told the mages to camp and spam buffs on him ASAP. The wizards listened to the guy casting magic flow to juice his stats. Popped rapid recovery too, spiking his energy bar filled up fast. Cooldowns dropped to basically 0. He grinned. Time to 1v1 these clowns. First up, Ted cast lightning, charged sphere. Yellow sparks charged up super fast. The bolt nuked the zone, wiping the camp instantly. The haters stared, totally shook. Like, what is that damage? Is he hacking? Guild boss Paprika was stunned casuals. Shouldn't be this OP. Ted instantly leveled up and got a skill boost for stomping the camp. He finally got why RNG gave him that plus 19 stat weapon. Even when he rolled that trash goblin skill, he swore he'd never use it, but found a broken combo with those mobs and wrecked the enemy with party buffs. It made sense of all the L's he had. Tried to dodge, even that lame siege. Luck finally winked. He'd been saving RNG for this clutch moment. A weapon you dump all your saved up luck into is the cheat code for any boss. But an OP weapon isn't everything. His fate was up to his own game. Ted promised Lady Luck he'd remember that tip. She chilled out, glad he stopped nagging her for drops. Panic swept the enemy base, fighters yelling that it was game over. Tanichi just laughed, telling his squad to chill. The real party's just getting started, fam. Fighter dude busts a gut, claiming ranged noobs only got basic zap attacks. Lame. When the guild boss heard that, he rolled his eyes hard. Tanichi's all muscle, zero brain cells. Ruri was shook, like Toei didn't see that plot twist coming. Nobody put that in the group chat when we planned this raid. She peeped a high-level carry on the other team. Total wild card. Now the squad's gotta move ASAP before this whole mess goes completely off the rails. Mage laid it out. The plan was Tanichi smashes the gate. Big army invades tomorrow. Simple. But since things went sideways, we've got to remix the strat entirely. Who knows what kind of electric beast is camping that outer wall? Rory bet her gnarly parasite skill would give Mr. Mystery a nasty surprise. He's gonna hate it. Just then, Ted unlocked slot 6 on his star map. Ding. Skill sphere maxed out. 100%. Babe, dude was hyped. 2 extra seconds of uptime and massive damage buffs. Yes, please. He realized this skill tree definitely goes deeper. New op abilities incoming. First rank is just the start. Then comes advanced. Then God tier upgrades. Let's go. He grinned, itching to test this sweet power spike on some actual mobs right now. Master pointed out the drama. Yo, look, bad guys are rushing the spot already. Tad didn't think they'd try a salty run back so fast after getting wrecked like that. Mage comes, shouted. Warlocks, charge fireballs. Archers, aim for the headshots. Don't miss. A caster muttered they wouldn't push unless they had a trick up their sleeve. Ted figured that made total sense. If you got no tanks, you bait 'em in. Basic, kiting tactics. Some grunt saw something sketchy and screamed for the boys to check the field. Heads up, blue armor dude is rushing. Defense line again. Total ego play, mocking us hard. The grunt was sweating bullets. Like, do the bosses even have a plan for this clutch moment? Everyone's panicking on how to handle this crazy aggro. Tanichi just cackled, louder, bragging. He'd one-shot the whole squad with a single swing. He popped his ult. Blue dragon. Scale. Gnarly energy wrapped him in a shield. Ted watched and realized, whoa, that's a unique teardrop. Blue armor rocking, a sweet +7 stat boost. Ramen totally lived up to the hype, especially with that OP dragon scale defense. That move, top tier stuff, unlocked only for the sweatiest pros in this insane game. The coolest perk of this hack, it flips incoming damage into raw attack power for a sick counter. The soldier raged cause poison and basic spells were totally useless on him. Renan looked at the dude, suggesting they bail and brainstorm a way to cheese this boss. Ted wasn't dipping. He knew it was prime time to flex his destructive power on a swole enemy. He aimed, figuring once that defense buff dropped, he'd land the KO. The kid got ready to blast the blue dragon, grinning like he'd already wrecked the invincible mob. Ted taunted the foe. Bet you can't tank my shots, Mr. Brave Warrior. Tanichi, that absolute psycho, screamed at Max Valia that he knew where the cowardly noob was camping. Come catch these hands. The master panicked. Outer gate's gonna crash from the We gotta fall back to base. ASA. Ted ignored the noise, saw his window for a crit, and pulled the trigger. He zapped the dude with a massive red lightning bolt, meant to insta-give him right in front of the squad. Tanichi was confused. Wasn't his shield buff active? How'd the enemy pierce his god mode defense? Turns out, this big brain timed the attack perfectly with the buff expiry. Sniping the millisecond, the skill dropped. Suddenly, the warrior's amulet glowed. Green emergency party chat activated. Tanichi pinged his bet via the amulet, basically a long-range walkie-talkie for battles. He dropped his coordinates for the girl. Baddies on the right. Send backup and healers. Stat. Weird cracks glitched into the sky from where dark vibes leaked out, spelling game over for everyone. Ted got debuffed by the Dark Zone curse. All his stats got nerfed hard by the enemy magic. Plus, an attack lock. This ball popped a scattered cloud. Anyone hit gets a 10-minute ban. Ted knew he was screwed. He had to bail, spamming double jump to retreat fast. Hated to admit it, but he was basically rage quitting because of their OP tactics. Something else bugged the kid. He realized those dang clouds were aggroed onto him, chasing him down. He horrifiedly realized 2 alt-level skills were incoming 0 chance to dodge. Ted faceplants, hard and loses half his HP to that gnarly spell. He is cursed. No attacks for 10 minutes. Total sitting duck. Our boy, freaked cost 3 Esron nukes were incoming. Totally enough to one-shot any nuke. That mage is totally OP. Seriously high-level stuff. She's gotta be top tier on the leaderboards here. That last move totally benched the dude for the fight, stunning him for 10 solid minutes. Got a stealth mode back to base and wait for these debuffs to clear. Some grunt screamed the outer gate was getting wrecked by the mob. Worst timing ever, cause a split second later, the gate crumbled and the bad guys swarmed in. Tad knew he needed to grind some serious XP right now to level up. Time to spam the goblin squad and mosquito swarm on these creeps. Meanwhile, the fanboys marched on, figuring death was a fair price to meet the goat. Lo was starstruck, realizing that epic lightning nuke was Def Tad's handiwork. Top Hunter told the squad that Zap wasn't normal magic, but some totally different power source. But the AON damage stats were insane for a solo player. One crew member asked if that was an S-Rank Elite skill drop. Lone's like, sounds crazy, but our god soloed a level 50 boss recently. So, he's got hidden cheats nobody knows about yet? Lone bet Tad was close, and they'd totally find him today. Suddenly, the dude spotted something sus. One corpse looked super weird. Lone was shook. Looked like a hardcore vampirism skill. Hit this guy. Inspecting the body, the hunter confirmed it. Based on the remains, that's what killed him. Glasses Girl asked if a vamp skill could really one-shot someone. The Dian Rondo started yelling gibberish about goblins, trying to warn them. Tank was confused if goblins even spawned here. Lone clicked right away. Figured the gobs must be their idols summoned skill. When boom, a stealth hit strikes his back, shocking the whole squad. The whole team screamed, "What the heck, man down!" The attacker better show face. They popped the mass stare-up skill too. Teleport way far in a split second. Julie used her rare warping magic to blink the team closer. Tank freaked out, seeing that hit, wrecked their buddy in one shot. Who's that buff? Julie bet it was probably their fave hero. Getting ganked by Tad, what a privilege. The crew crept up to the Shire gates, only to get mean-mugged by the head musketeer. Raiden barked, pure venom. In his tone, telling them to freeze and spill the beans, Ace dude swore they weren't getting past him, guarding the turf like his life depended on it. Then things got weird, flipping the whole script. Julie chimed in, chill as ever, claiming they were friendly and just wanted to assist. The crew realized that ditching the faction mid-siege meant eating a massive system penalty. Julie told the fam to chill, victory wasn't in the bag yet. First step, find any clue that Tad was even lurking nearby. She'll bet they'd bump into their idol soon for a proper chat. Chris saw the no teep that they were bailing and instantly raged, having zero clue why. The GM couldn't believe these weirdos knew the penalty cost. Ditching the team now? Total trash move. Karis fumed. Lone dragged him here, so let Lone deal with the mess. Checking stats. He gassed his minion got smoked by some Rondo. The boss blinked, thinking, seriously, dying again at the worst time. What a Ruri squinted, trying to spot where that OP monster player vanished to. She spun around, to her pal. Enemy is low level but hits like a truck. So, the mage knew they couldn't just YOLO it against a beast like that. Tanichi lolled, asking if his GF doubted his skills. Strong or not, he never catches an L. She giggled, agreeing he was the cracked carry of this siege. Ruri figured this whole mess was getting spicy, with wild endings for everyone. A classic clash. The idiot versus the monster. Deathworth, grabbing popcorn for, bam, head, bullet rips right through for a one-hit cut. Ted just dinged a level. He feels god tier compared to these scrubs now. The mage slapped a tracking hex on the zone, so he'd better tiptoe like a ninja. He figures, stomp Paprika's ace first, and the siege is basically locking on. Ted picks a target, but surprise, plans change. He buried juked a sickle spell aimed at his neck. Tanichi rushes in, weapon out, screaming, quit camping, and fight me. Tad froze. How did this tank spot him in stealth? They have zero detection skills. Squinting hard, he noticed a weird mod on the enemy's sword hilt. That explained the hacks. He spotted a glowing green scout orb. That's how the brute was tracking players. The psycho laughed, bragging that Tad couldn't ghost him thanks to his special tracker. It reveals your coordinates instantly. Then came the combo link. This perk lets him spam 3 massive shockwaves at any target he spots. Tad panicked. Never mind the level gap. That skill is a one-hit delete. He juked the blast, knowing he couldn't tank a single hit. Spinning around, he saw second wave zooming at his back, Mach speed. As he turned, panic hit it was basically hugging him. Major crises. He popped his double jump last second to barely scrape by. Too close, but running away won't get him the dub. Tanichi shouted that he'd blown his cover, so time to brawl like men. Tad calculated he needed perfect shots to drop a tank with those passives. 6 precision hits, straight to the dome for max crit damage. The issue was how to land them on the server's top-ranked player. The Tro taunted and fired up his chain skill again. Tanichi unleashed homing, blue energy discs that chased him across the map. Analyzing the pattern, Tad noticed that when the skill fires, the warrior lags out for 1 whole second. Not a class feature, just a glitchy skill animation. He also saw the guy used a dash, move right after to close the gap. Tad had to exploit this broken mechanic to land a cap. Tanichi finally stopped running. Coward. Then the brute ones again spammed his chain combo for out damage. Tad sidestepped, used 1,000 steps to retreat, and caught some air. The dude hit double jump to reposition. The enemy sneered. This is a joke, right? Stop kiting and fight me. Facing him, Tad knew it was time for the kill shot. Ted activates his skill, glowing with red lightning so creepy, it's total nightmare fuel. The dude triggers a lightning charge vibing because his plan is actually working perfectly for once. Bro blasts a massive shot from his musket, unleashing a crazy red lightning storm straight out the barrel. The huge bolt zooms as fast and bright as humanly possible at the baddie, ripping through the air with pure destruction. It yeets the enemy off his feet and literally toasts everything nearby to a crisp. When the zap gets in his face, he's totally shook by the horror show unfolding. Boom, contact made, and the whole world turns red. The whole forest starts literally frying from that wild energy. Ted hopped in a tree earlier to spectate the chaos and see if his attack slapped. The rival starts getting salty, admitting the kid actually nailed him with that sick move. Been ages since a warrior took that much damage. His ego is totally bruised. Tanichi smirked, saying, "Playtime's over. Time for a real showdown between actual bosses. No more kid stuff." So, warrior dude pops his dragon zone. Expansion, spamming a bunch of energy dragons everywhere. It makes a see-through blue dome trap. Zero escape. Root for players in this magic cage. Tanichi also busts out Blade Dance, launching a barrage of sickle-shaped energy blasts at the guy. There were so many shots flying. They wrecked even the toughest old trees in the hood. Ted panicked. Is this dude wiping the map just so he can't camp behind trees? Then, the baddie uses his ult, blue dragon power, trying to one-shot the hiding sneak. Swinging his OP weapon, the warrior yelled that he totally bagged the enemy right there. But nope, he didn't hit Ted, just a silver goblin decoy summoned for the lulz. Tanichi face-planted in shock. Wondering why he smacked a goblin instead of the actual player. Dude was crazy confused. He expected to score a fatal hit on the owner. Ted pops up right behind him, using the lag in his brain to launch a sneak attack. He aims right at the dome, ready to deal max damage with a perfect musket shot. Kid pulls the trigger, and it's a legit crit, adding 94% base damage. The enemy realized the musketeer used the goblin as bait. He was shook, but that hack won't work twice. Warrior swore the kid wouldn't pull that garbage again on a pro like him. Tanichi snatches his weapon and winds up a massive attack, swinging his sword to delete his opponent. Ted knows he's cornered, needing like 3 or 4 snipes to catch the dub. Dude pops his tank skill. The bad guy has to attack head-on. Now, our boy can't slack off since his HP bar is flashing red from the last combo. Tanichi, thinking the win is in the bag, mockingly asks if his opponent wants a hug or a teddy bear. The warrior sneers that trying to tank hits with that skill is a joke. Total cringe. Ted remembers his passives. Lower health equals higher defense stats. The enemy keeps throwing hands, pummeling him, and laughing, showing zero respect for Ted's combat skills. It's like the skill is glitching and won't trigger when he needs it most. Ted whips out his gun, blasts a shot right at his face, praying for a critical hit. Guy smirks, claiming his defense stance is rock solid. So the musket didn't scare the pro fighter one bit. He says give up Kayed, but Ted unleashes a swarm attack right at the tank. Ted wonders with a cheeky grin who should quit, while life stealing his health back. The dude is shook, realizing his opponent also has parasitism skills. That's a major problem for him. Ted wins the grapple, pinning him down for the finisher. Tanichi is salty, wondering how he actually got wrecked. Ruri is going to be totally furious and disappointed. He pings his ally, admitting he completely choked, beaten by some random musketeer noob. She says she'll help, but don't expect any more charity after this. Tanichi spams Blue Dragon for one last desperate hit. Ted's annoyed, like seriously, this guy is determined to troll him until the very end. Finally, a miracle happens. Enemy drops, but the boom eats our guy high into the air. Ruri notes, her fighter got wiped, strong, but way too slow and dumb. The mod checks the map, no allies anywhere nearby, but that's actually perfect for her little scheme. So she pops territory expansion to dominate, and drop a magical control field on the zone. Ruri thinks. Cut the escape routes, box them in tight. She casts Celestial Construct. A blue cube locks the map down. She figures there's one more finishing touch she's been saving for a moment like this. A creepy bag with a nasty aura spawns a dark monster. A junior demon hops out, ready to obey every command instantly. The creature says it's stoked for the duel, thanking the boss for the challenge. Ted spots a black cloud rushing him and panics. What is that? He gets major Deja Vu vibes. That's the creepy fog that glitched his buddy into a beast. Dude knew it was time to yeet out of the war zone fast before he got totally wrecked. But when Ted tried to bail, he face-planted into a dome, trapping him like a rat. He was like, What kind of broken hack is this? Why's there an op wall blocking the exit? Devs, he blasted the shield, but 0 damage. Totally invincible. Ted knew he was cooked. If those creepy tentacles touched him, it's game over. So he spun around and went full auto on the grabby energy hands, trying to snatch him. But he clocked pretty fast that he was in deep trouble. Bullets did zip. Those slimy things just kept coming. He tried to ult with lightning, but the demon claws got way too close. While he screamed, "Get off me, creeps!" Finally, he got totally wrapped up by those gross hands and dragged off to whom they pulled Ted right to the junior demon boss. Nasty thing reeking of dark vibes and rot. Getting closer, he figured out the sick plan. Demon wants to hijack his avatar permanently. Ted panicked. Was he gonna get skewered like his pal? He was getting hit with crazy debuff, salty about losing all his grind progress. But suddenly, the spirit of Sun Hero Shimshin inside him woke up and fought the parasite back hard. Ruri stared at this level 5 demon, confused. Why is it only taking 1 damage? The mage got weird pop-ups, and the chick had 0 clue why her spell glitched out. Even Ted was totally lost. Was his inner spirit blocking the merge? Could he skip monster mode? Other players watching thought it was a scripted event. Is this even real? How this is glitching out? Who knows? But that demon looks like bad news for everyone. System says, demon merge in corruption at 33%. At 34, he'd lose control. The demon unleashes a massive owl blast, hitting everyone nearby. Gamers were screaming at each other, totally freaking out over the chaos. The beast was blasting, so bailing fast was the only way to stay alive. The woods went boom with a massive shockwave that just rocked the earth and wrecked everything for miles around ground zero. That Sun Hero ghost, napping deep inside the traveler's soul, kept fighting that nasty parasite curse hard. Trying to save his own skin, Ted just panics, wondering what's up when the corruption hits 100%. Guess he's just stuck watching the horror show now. The demon kid keeps merging, and the system says corruption is at 35% max. So now, Amenity Man has hijacked Ted's body using his looks and skills for some shady world goals. This possessed dude creeps closer to the town, ready to wreck the locals who were just chilling. Beast mode roars in rage. But a tiny thought lingers back there. Please don't hurt the innocent townies. But does the demon care what real Ted thinks? Nope. He just blasts those mega energy cannons. A giant energy ball smashes the county, wrecking walls and everything in its way. The whole army screams, "Oh my god, look out. Our hero went full monster mode and is hitting us." Count Soren, defending nearby, yelled at his peeps to chill and listen up right now. The boss knew they had to move in a straight line behind him to dodge their frenemies' attacks. Ted's horrified cause this is messed up. He was protecting these guys like 5 minutes ago. One defender's tough enough to stop the evil hero and save the day. He spotted the dudes from his fan club staring, confused about their idol's glitch. A massive energy shot zooms at him, spinning at crazy speeds, ready to wipe everyone out. Facing doom, the fans just froze as the shot came closer. Then another massive boom lit up the place and shook the ground hard. The Sun Liberator keeps fighting, drops corruption to 30%. Ted's got the wheel. Dude knows he's gotta act fast before things go totally south and hopeless. Ted figures if he grabbed control earlier, this would have been different. Right now, the guy can hit Paprika before the demon takes over completely. The demon aims a giant energy arrow at the haters, targeting their camp to wipe out as many as he can. Stuck inside the beast, Tad tries to spam his inventory skill for good loot. Dude whips it out, thinking, thank God I kept this clutch item. It's a legit rage pot boosting reaction speeds by 30%. Plus, damage gets a 10% base buff. Floating over Paprika's base, he realizes payback is totally safe now. So Ted, with 0 fear or brain cells, chugs that rare brew fast, hoping it fixes this mess. Speed up 30%. Damage up 20. He's got 10 minutes to wreck stuff. Rui spies the lil demon zooming in, clueless about how the plan flopped. Is that demon thing actually Ted? She needs a shield up ASAP to save the squad. Ted ain't waiting. The psycho starts blasting like crazy in demon mode. Desperate to fix this, she sees a massive death ball flying her way. Ruri panics she's too weak to block a hit. That huge back at base. A huge boom wipes everything, wrecking most buildings flat. Demon Ted goes even more nuts with rage, growling, and savage at everyone. He trashes the camp of Paprika, that jerk who totally ruined his life with shady moves. Boom. Blinding lights pop off everywhere. So intense, no way anyone's walking away. Amid chaos, Lone's salty about the cash and pros he wasted. One musketeer wrecked the guild's siege plans in a single shot. Ted yawns wide, flashing scary fangs that freak everyone out. Pot wears off, and he crashes hard, feeling super weak. When the dude woke up to total ruin, thinking, yikes, did I do that? Sun Liberator is immune to demon vibes. 100% resists, plus tons of Ted realizes he kept his cool inside this buff body, unlocking epic moves. Basically, he's a boss mob now, with insane stats. The system pinged a note, new achievement for his crazy siege stunts. Siege, paralysis super air Luchi grab wall, raiding forts. Also snagged one against all, boosting base stats by nearly 100%. It maxes skill power and stealth, making sneak attacks brutal. Systems like yo won that overwhelming aura buff. Dudes like, heck yeah I do. Ted's hype, unique status and lock time to grind some crazy upgrades. But then, system throws a red flag. He fragged too many. Crime stat, 53,000. So now he's tagged public enemy and demon boss. Since he raided the city and zapped innocent NPCs. Minions are nagging the count to banhammer this demon. Can't ignore this glitch anymore. Advisors, tell the king. Delete that mob or the kingdom crashes. Raiden says, my bad. Butting in, asks what the count thinks of the corrupted hero. Boss says Tad's just a laggy ally, not a villain. Those rebel creeps corrupted his save file. Subordinates call cap on that, saying, don't let bromance ruin your official duties. Raiden insists it's not about catching feels. Kids got OP energy, they can't nerf. Teach surveys the wreckage, worried about his student's account status. Master's brain is buffering, thoughts of where his boy is and if he's still human inside that skin. Raiden flashes back to the noob, who first logged in to the academy to learn trigger discipline. Thinks how fast the guy leveled up, beating mentors, predictions, speedrun style. Mentally high-fiving him. Master knows he saved their base from a wipe by risking his own HP. Raiden just hopes to respawn with Tad and reset their vibe to chill. Back in the capital, at Blue Sky Guild, the server's top players gather for a summit. Ruri and Tanichi tell her they feared the siege would make them late. She's thinking, siege failed, but the alliance is still viable. A voice joins chat. Long time no see. How's the top-tier meta holding up? It's Musesh and Sorgat, checking if they missed loot while AF. Tanichi says he fought a boss with stats so broken, it's unreal. Ruri's salty he resisted her debuff spell. She was 100% sure it was an easy win. How'd he block her ult? Admin announces, the lobby is full. So the Elite Guild Raid meeting starts now. Meanwhile, Ted's speedrunning through the woods, total emo mode. Why is the universe roasting him this hard? Did he trigger bad karma? Now he's gotta rage quit his country and respawn elsewhere to dodge the drama. Back at the big meet, they said 5 big bosses linked up cause they're all dealing with the exact same massive headache. The real tea is exactly why they didn't make the top 7 server cut. Whines one dude. It's a total cloud issue though. Y'all are GOAT material and need that verification check. So, the squad's gotta link up for the win. They need a shared hater to rally. Sadly, they totally flopped at taking the county solo. They took a fat L cause of some random glitch. But it ain't game over yet, since there's other spots to grief and force into the clan. So, it's go time right now. The vibes are finally perfect for a raid. The guy hypes up the birth of a super team to snatch rank 1 and wreck the server meta forever. The plan is to go ham right now. But first step, pick a sick name for the new squad. Ted keeps speedrunning the woods and sighs, finally hitting the safe zone he needed. It's Pixie Kingdom, where dude's been grinding to get to, hoping to hide out and reboot his messy storyline.